the vow.
Welcome back to part 2 of Atheism versus Christianity. I had such a fun time yesterday. I learned something about myself, something shocking, that I do in fact enjoy dopamine. And yesterday I got a lot of it. So I thought, why not? We technically didn't even start the video. So, I mean, yeah, why not do it again? Okay. Yes, if you want to join and take part of this amazing experience with me, you can click the link that is pinned, hopefully at the top of the chat. It's also in the description. Good to see you, Section 230, first time chatter. Good to see you, Rage Page. Good to see you, Kokomo. Good to see you, Lobster. Good to see you, Count Emmett. Good to see you, Grillopolis. And yes, it is kind of crazy that Section is a first time chatter, but he's still in the intro. I just had a vision. I'm a sometimes prophet, as you might have heard. I had a vision he would be here. So I went to a different stream, got his kind of stuff and put it in a quick intro. Okay, that's what happened. But yeah, we're going to be loading the video. I saw Seth was here, but Seth left. We had a good conversation yesterday. Went a little off the rails. A little too much talk about the Blue Jays for my liking personally, but you know, it was still good. Still a good stream. There is Seth. Welcome, Seth. How's it going?
Hello.
That's a different voice. Seth, are you the guy that joined the Discord, by the way? Because before I give you like perms and stuff, I want to make sure that was you. What is your Discord name? Because I saw someone join. I was like, is that Seth?
Possibly Tarnish.
Yes. Okay. I'll give you a roll. I assume that was you, but everyone has a different name. What did you think of yesterday's discussion, Seth? Were you edified by it?
Yeah. That was I've only ever tried debating Matt Dillahunty before this, so.
Oh, you had the displeasure of debating
Quite a change.
Dillahunty? Oh, God, I can't stand Matt Dillahunty, man. That's the thing. At least that guy, PDX, was like, he's like a secular humanist. I'm sure he agrees a lot with Dillahunty. He might even like Dillahunty. But he was pleasant to talk to. Dillahunty, I can't imagine being pleasant to talk to. That guy's he's a work, man.
At least.
Did you officially debate him? Did you just like call in or like what happened?
It's just a call in.
Okay. Damn it. How's it going?
Epistemic wasn't a word. That's how flipped out he was.
He said what wasn't a word?
Epistemic.
That's weird.
Of all the things to say it's not a word, that's like the foundation of his whole. He has a book about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's not a word that he wants to debate, though.
Well, that's
right?
true. That's true.
All right.
That was the word that threw Desiree Noel off, right? Didn't she think it was the study of epistles? When Andrew asked her what is epistemology?
The
She's
study
like,
of the
of course
epistles.
I know it. It's the study of the epistles. Which is a brave guess. I mean, it was a brave guess. Gotta give her points for trying.
It's better than the 3 laws of logic. There's no laws of logic.
I gotta get Desiree back. I don't know what we would talk about, but I still have my dream of getting Marilyn, Desiree, and there's someone else. Who's the other?
If you want stupid bitches, you can get if you want stupid bitches, you can always ask Death Note.
Oh gosh. Oh, they would they would team up though. They would team up.
Yeah.
There's someone else. There's another woman that I wanted to. I don't remember. I don't know if it was Kel. I don't know if Kel hasn't been on a stream in a while though. Yeah, maybe Grace would be. I want to get just like a bunch of women on that are just like.
Tell me when that is going to happen. Tell me when that's going to happen so I can quarantine your whole YouTube channel.
I'll just collect all of the like unhinged females in the community and put them all on at once. Maybe I get Keelan's crazy friends to join. Holy shit. And I'll just like try to moderate all of the insanity.
So what do you believe, Seth? Are you a filthy atheist?
Was that a Christian?
Yeah, like full blown. If it's a bit of a Spinoza's God situation, it's like a fully naturalistically explainable God. But
oh yeah, I wanted to ask you what you meant. I didn't have time because everyone jumped in. Do you like? How are you a Christian, but then believe in like a Spinozian God? Like, do you think Jesus rose from the dead? Do you think Jesus walked on water?
I think that the Bible is written from a bunch of different human lenses, right? And their accounts are honest by every metric, but that doesn't necessarily mean that their perception aligned with reality or the truth. That is only Jesus who never deviates, right? So accounts of Jesus, unless he wrote
the Holy
them,
Ghost,
should deviate.
It's a bit of a non-answer though. Like I get. Are you implying that you don't think Jesus rose from the dead? That you don't think Jesus healed the sick and walked on water? Is that what you're saying?
I think it's a box that's meant to stay closed because it's part of the transmission of the message, but not the necessity of the message.
What is Christianity if there's no Christ rising from the dead, though? That's the problem. Just like a cool, like feel-good message, like live a good life. That's kind of atheist-coded in a way.
That's what I'm at. Sola Talmudic.
Alex. How's it going, Alex?
We were revealing the most important parts of Christ's story, the divine truth, when we ask questions like that.
So you think Christ was just like a good teacher? I mean, I hate to hit you with that cliche, but that is what you would honestly think in a way.
No, because that's reducing the lesson, right? Like this is literally
he's a really good teacher. He's like the perfect teacher. But he didn't die for our sins. He certainly didn't rise for our sins. He didn't cast out demons. He didn't walk on water. He didn't do any of the miracles.
Did he exist?
That was part of the demonstration of the perfectness of the morals. Is that
he was doing like prestidigitation, like he was like doing little magic tricks.
No, I'm asking, did none of that actually happen? Did people just make up a story, or what are you trying to?
When Jesus turned water into wine, okay, did you know that Greek wine has to be watered down and it's a potent hallucinogen?
Yes.
What are you talking about? Soma, or what are we talking about?
Maybe I don't know.
Are you saying he put
his name for it?
Most wine that the Greeks made was not hallucinogen. There was some that had like wormwood in it, like absinthe. There's some that had soma, which we still don't know what the fuck soma was to this day. But most wine was not hallucinogenic.
But that's the point.
You think he just took a little bit of mushrooms? So what you're telling me is that he just took a little bit of he just took a little bit of mushrooms, put it in water, and he said, "Yeah, that's wine now." Is that what we're talking about?
Well, that's what happened with Revelations, right? Some dude in a cave in the Sicily Islands just fucking started tripping balls and writing shit.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened.
I don't want to hit you with the evangelical thing, but what is the point of Christianity with no dying and rising Christ? Like, if Christ is not risen, we're still in our sins. That's what, like, Paul says. I think that's like kind of true. Do you disagree?
Because the message, the morals are not just like perfect with predictive power, but they are beneficial to us for aligning with the truth, right? Like, the truth, in my view, is an absolute thing, especially when it comes to morality. And Jesus demonstrates that. He doesn't just explain it, he lives
when
it.
You say full-blown Christian, I think we're saying different things then, I guess.
Just let me, if I can interrogate him just a second. So you're saying that, I guess, first of all, do you believe that Bible is divine, or do you think that's just stories?
Yes.
Okay, so it's divinely inspired or divinely written, but the stories in it are fake just to demonstrate a moral character or trait?
No, the stories are compressions of all of these different people coming together to make law, right? And so they're having these arguments and they're exchanging these stories to try to come up with these ways to improve life for each other. And Jesus,
but that's not divine then. That's people deciding what makes good moral sense and creating stories to fit it.
Wouldn't God be what decides what divinity is?
Well, I don't see where God interacts with this process at all is the problem.
Yeah, I don't see where magic is necessary for it to be divine.
If Jesus, that, but go ahead.
Just real quick, if Jesus is just the greatest teacher, that just means that's not the same as God. It's just like a very wise guy. Just saying.
What part?
Yeah, I guess. Do you think Jesus was God at all?
Spinoza's God. What part of a Spinoza's God, and Jesus being the only thing to never deviate from alignment with the truth of this, as like you already know my GUT thing, right? All the natural laws emerge from the breakdown of the grand unified force, right? Jesus, he never broke down. So he's always in alignment with God. Trying to separate the two of them is like pouring 2 cups of water together and then trying to scoop out the first one.
Well, but if he's just alignment is not the same as the same.
Yeah, you can align with street. It doesn't mean that you're on the street.
Yeah.
If we took
it just means
your soul and my soul, Freaky Friday that shit. Who is who? Buddha does a whole thing about it with some demon ripping off.
But that's retarded. I don't care about Buddha.
That has nothing to do with anything.
An incarnated Spinozian God is already very confusing to me.
Yeah, so get really abstract when you're not working with just finite sums.
Is Christ God then, in your view?
He's thinking about it. Or he DC'd.
One of the two.
This all seems kind of incomprehensible to me.
I just don't see the point. I've complained about this before, but it just seems like vacuuming the spirit out of Christianity. You're just left with like a husk of like moral teachings, which is like cool, but it's not spiritual, it's not religious, it's not really anything. I mean, it's just kind of like
when you say that
with extra steps.
You're saying that it's
cool,
just a bunch of,
but that's not going to save us. That's not going to bring us. That's not going to bring us into communion with God. That's not really going to do anything.
Seth, is Christ
How is it
God
not?
In your view, or no?
Yes.
Okay. What proves that he's God? What did he do to prove that he was God?
He does.
He doesn't prove himself.
Yes, he does. He's internally consistent, and then when you try to validate it externally, it winds up as a positive proof every time.
Internally consistent with what? Himself?
Yeah, his morals were internally consistent, and when expressed we see that when people deviate from that, we have agreed, like, this is why we have the Constitution and such. Like, when they deviate from Christ's lesson, that's a sin, or that's an infringement upon the rights of others, or it's just generally a bad idea.
Well, that doesn't mean that it's the only moral system then, right? Because I could find another way to express a moral ideas that would also allow me to go in the same direction as him without ever actually crossing his direction, right?
Yeah, alignment. Like Buddha aligned very well with Christ, but
so there's no one way.
There's only one person who never deviated, right? And you need that control variable, or else you can't consistently measure.
How do we know that?
Test it.
You can't test it. This is 2,000 years ago. You can't test it.
I think it's Seth. I think it's also a bit of a. It's a bit of illusion to think that just by reading. I'm going to be Emmett pilled for a second, because I am a Protestant, but there's a lot of interpretation I think you have to do to Jesus' words to get what you're talking about. Like in one example, right, when Peter cuts off the guy's ear, he says, "Live by the sword, die by the sword." But then he says, "Don't think." In a different passage, he says, "Don't think I come to bring peace, but I come to bring a sword to divide mother and son and sister and brother." And I mean, we can interpret those, but you can kind of do that with like any teacher that you just think is a moral teacher. You can take, like, Muslims obviously do this with Muhammad. They'll be like, well, what he said here doesn't actually contradict, and they'll do their gymnastics. And without proper interpretation, are we not kind of doing the same thing? Like, I think just Christ's words, I think they're good words, but if you dichotomize those from the miracles, from the resurrection, from him being like the actual only incarnate presence of God, then I think you're just left with like us trying to fit this into like a good moral system, which it works for that, but it doesn't even work in a way that I would find personally like compelling, that like, oh, this guy was definitely, like if it's just the words, that he's like definitely unique throughout history. Because there is a lot of interpretation we're bringing to the text to make stuff match up.
And that's why I think the miracles were necessary, because people wouldn't have transmitted the message without it. But I also don't think that they're fundamental to what we need to know.
But you're saying they're not real.
Yeah, you said
I'm
they're
saying
not real,
they're
so
insignificant to the message that God wants us to know.
You can believe.
Are they insignificant or are they not real?
If they're either real or they're not.
Insignificant.
Are they real or not? They really happen?
I'm fine keeping the lid on that box.
Well, no. Here's the problem,
even when it comes to the resurrection, though?
Hold on. Wait. He's agnostic. I see.
It's one of those things where we're supposed to not know.
Just hold on now, okay? If they're not real, right, then not only is there no proof of his actual divinity, but there's proof that the Bible is full of lies, because the Bible says they are real. The Bible specifically says they did happen. It's reaffirmed.
If they are real
and over
you
again.
witness them, where is the faith?
We don't get to witness, do we? We only get to hear.
Yeah, so it's all on
we
faith
either believe
either way.
that they're real, and thus he was a divine being, or they're not, and he
You
was
believe
just a
in
normal
his
person.
message. You believe in his message, right? It's easy to confuse
his message over Buddha's.
The message of the apostles, their transmission with Christ. Christ never deviated, right?
It doesn't matter.
The stuff that I walk into.
We can't prove that. We can't know that. We only know whatever was passed down in these stories, right? How do you know he didn't deviate?
You call yourself a dirty Protestant, Big Soda.
Look at the different versions.
How do you know
of
he didn't
the
have like
story.
a den of female slaves that he just did whatever to, right? You don't know that because it's never written in the Bible.
That feels like a disingenuous argument.
Well, no. The point is, you're saying that the stories from the Bible show his alignment with this, but I could just say that only the best parts were written in the Bible and all the horrors were not.
And I could just say that there's a flying spaghetti monster that made everything in the world. That's a kind of really non sequitur.
Well, mine makes a lot more sense than yours, doesn't it?
I mean, if you need something to not make sense, just don't understand it.
No, it makes more sense than yours.
Yeah, do
I'm
you need
saying that I'm
not
saying that the
or something?
authors of a book may exclude the darker details because they want to make the person look good. That's extraordinarily common. You're saying that there's a flying spaghetti monster that no one's ever seen or recorded that makes everything. Those are two vastly different claims.
I'm
Unimaginably
saying
different, in
Jesus
fact.
Christ was surrounded by people constantly. It's like you're making a bunch of
According
claims
to
there,
who? According to
which you
what?
aren't proving. But we have a whole bunch of claims about Jesus, which are
Wasn't he in the
proven
desert for
from the
40 days and
whole,
40 nights?
which we
True bad atheist.
Okay.
that's fair actually. We do have some record of Jesus where he was alone, and we know he didn't write it, so we would have had to tell someone about it, right? And we have to assume that the person telling us what he told is keeping it. But we have a way to test the accuracy of that. If Jesus Christ was telling the truth, then the repetition preservation of the message should show differences in how it affects behavior, because we know it does affect behavior in really weird ways that don't line up with evolution, right?
Yeah, but you could say that about like all religions. Like there's Buddhists that self-immolate and sit there without moving while they're burning to death. I mean, that goes against evolution, I would think, at least at a cursory glance, right? Like, and that goes against our expectations. So you could use the same argument you're making to say that Buddhism is definitely true. I mean, if anything, the modern willpower of a self-immolating Buddhist is pretty heavy compared to every other
else
So,
that you just said.
yeah.
It feels like you aren't paying any mind to the difference between aligning with truth and never deviating from truth. Because with the Buddhism thing, that specific instance, they were aligned with a truth and took an extreme measure, which contradicted that reward programming. But Jesus never deviated from it. We can measure the whole rest of everything that the Buddhists did in their life.
I already explained
Wait,
this,
wait.
though, and you didn't really
Okay, I
respond
get
to what
it.
I said about we have different statements that Jesus made and that we will interpret them. So like the sword passage that I mentioned where he said that he comes to divide family members and stuff, right? We would take that, we would interpret that a little bit. But like if we had the atheist guy that was here yesterday, he'd be like, well, that's a terrible thing. I mean, Jesus advocating for violence. He specifically says, I didn't come to bring peace but a sword. Right. So like that anyone is going to do that with their religion. If we just rely on just like the words, I don't think Jesus' words alone is enough that an outside observer would be like, yes, this guy definitely never deviated ever. It takes like interpretation to kind of understand what he's saying and who's interpreting,
It doesn't take much interpretation. That's a thing that happened in the United States Civil War. Brother turned against brother. It was a particularly big thing.
Seth, you're not listening.
The sword, right? He came to bring the sword. The truth will turn the family against each other. The truth of equal human rights, right? People want to keep their position of social dominance, and that was Jesus was preaching
I've
about.
never thought of that interpretation from that passage.
Oh, the equal human rights.
Oh, where did Christ endorse equal human rights?
Jesus died for a right to vote.
No. Where did Christ endorse equal human rights?
Testy says the story of the burning bush was about
human rights. Do you know the difference between suffrage and human rights?
I understand, but when did Jesus endorse human rights?
Wait, are you saying that suffrage is not a human right?
Hell no.
I'm saying there's a difference between suffrage.
Jesus died to give us the right to vote? I mean, come on.
You're trying to collect.
You wouldn't answer that question. That's actually funny.
Jesus wanted us to have a king.
The problem you're running
but
into is
it's not a me problem.
The problem you're running into is you're trying to say that the miracles are immaterial to the message itself, which to some extent is true. But the miracles are there to prove that he is who he said he was. And without that proof, then he's just another guy who had good things written about him.
Why would the miracles prove anything?
Because they're supposed to prove that he's divine.
I mean, if they were true
That's
phenomenological, and God rose him from the
testable evidence.
This isn't science. This isn't
that would only
this isn't empirics.
To people who don't know what proof is.
Well, no,
I don't mean.
Hold on. I mean, the only type of proof is not empirical proof. For one, yeah, like That's with that thing. I've gotten to
Yeah,
argue
yeah,
with people before
experiential,
about this. You could
anecdotal.
never know anything about history. If your standard is repeatability, then you have to throw away literally all of history. Like you couldn't know anything about history.
So
First of all,
then
we would need to know what truth is, and there's no way to get to
that's a
empirical
straw man
truth.
argument. I
Like
never
that,
said
then-
experiential data is invalid, but for some reason the empirical, like whatever. Well,
Before we
Can you
dive
tell me what
down this,
truth
we're
is?
about to get
I
to
would-
the
I would like-
weeds. We're gonna get riled up by it. We're trusting Testy that this video is like it so far.
Space.
This is one of your people, Emmett.
Yeah, they're spitting right now.
Oh, he's really angry.
it reminds me of two ghosts.
Gangster style.
Man, I want to go to church in freaking Honduras. Damn.
Dude, Jesus is a gangster here. Damn.
You know very well what I would do to this person, Confluence.
You would be upstage. You would be on the stage in your goth makeup, dancing with them, Emmett.
I would be on
Don't you
God's
believe in the
makeup
resurrection now,
as he dances up on a tree, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, work boots and all. This guy's got the
Mean
fit,
it.
man.
He didn't do anything wrong. That's a pretty damn decent dance.
Oh, it's got the
Dude,
Duke.
he's got the full gangster.
Oh my god.
There's a lot of people
He's doing the
watching.
robot. He's doing the robot gangster. Damn.
How do I get this guy in my church?
Protestantism has to be destroyed.
What if I told you
the
an
reason
Orthodox
he shouts Jesus Christ
sermon?
is almost as he is
Hold on, is that a
tormenting the
teardrop
devil
on his
for the
face?
years.
Yes.
Yeah, this
Those are
guy
two.
came out of Trenderagua or whatever it's called.
Dude, those are that's two murders right there. Damn.
Yeah, but
You know
think
what?
about how
If
many souls
he's
he's
in the
saved,
room and
though.
he tells you that Jesus is king, you repeat after him, you know?
Especially if he's popping and locking
Nope.
it. I mean, you're not going to deny
No. Okay, that's why the Trinitarianism is amazing, because you have the Holy Ghost. It's a thing, and it's
The
not.
Holy Ghost
Oh,
is
it
the
make
Are
me
you
feel
bleeding,
good.
Emmett? Did
This
that
happened.
song actually cut you? Damn.
Yeah, it
Got him
destroyed
deep.
my brain.
That shit got me amped
Okay.
up for Jesus.
I know.
I know.
I'm on-
What is the question, Seth?
Do you all have expectations of how God presents itself?
itself.
No.
Ugh.
Yes.
Oh, itself.
Himself. Respect his pronouns, okay?
I'd rather you say herself than it's.
Oh God, you're
Well,
even worse.
I'm
This
not
is
ironic. Ironically.
specific to Christianity. It could go into any theism claim.
I mean,
I mean,
everyone
yeah,
has
yeah, you would
everyone
expect
has
God to be God.
It's
everyone has
even
some
a
expectations. Yeah,
God,
you
you're
expect
even
God to
worse.
reveal himself with like the slaughter of like, I don't know, that he's gonna
Billions.
manifest the slaughter of billions and be like, I am your God. Look at all the dead people I've made. I think everyone has some expectations based on their religious views, probably, right?
So what's a fair expectation?
What's a?
I
don't know what you mean. What do you mean by fair?
Yeah.
It's like
Fair is,
when we discuss.
how do you get to the
omnipotent.
fair? Because I don't know what
I
you
think
mean
when we
by
discuss-
fair.
I think we should leave room to be for God to be unexpected, I think. But we're always going to bring some expectations, but I think we should try to look for God in places where we might not expect to find him. Like if that's what you mean, I agree. To think that we could just jettison all of our expectations about what God might be, we'd have to throw away our whole religion. I don't know if that's like, there should be a degree of openness, but not expecting that God's gonna like for an example, you shouldn't be like, hey, maybe if I go murder people, maybe God will show himself through that. Like that's an expectation. I think if I murder people, God's probably not gonna like speak to me in that way, right? So like, what are you talking about in terms of like how much expectations we ought to have?
I don't know what fair is in the question.
Like a lot of times when it gets to the omnipotence claim, people will be like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Can God make something so heavy he can't lift it? My response is yes. And then it's like, well, then can he lift it? And it's like, yes, he just uses leverage. And they say that's a bullshit answer. That's not what they mean. It sounds like
That
they
is a
don't know what
bullshit
they
answer.
mean, doesn't it?
That is
That
the
is a
worst
bullshit
answer I've
answer.
ever
That's how
heard.
reality
The answer
works, though. That's
is
how
no.
God works.
He cannot make a rock so big he cannot lift it up. Just like God cannot make a square circle, right? God, yeah, I expect God to be logical. I would say it's totally fine to bite the bullet and say that no, yeah, God cannot do something that's in contradiction with his nature. It's
Well,
like
it would
asking if God can do a truly evil act. I would say no, that doesn't take away his omnipotence.
So,
It's just
would it
self-contradiction.
be weird to expect miracles to be magic?
It's not magic.
You have to define magic, I guess,
Exactly.
in how you mean it.
It's gonna
Yeah, what do
be
you mean
natural.
by magic?
Do you mean it just violates like natural law? Is that what you mean by magic? Or by magic, do you mean like occult, or like what do you mean?
The Bible means by magic, right? I'm suggesting that it's just saying something happened in a way that misrepresents it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. There's a deviation from truth, sin. It all
Miss-
one cohesive framework.
Okay, I need to ask you because you make a lot of claims about truth. What the fuck do you mean by truth?
We've been through this.
No, I
We have
haven't. I
standards
need
that
to
we
know
go
what the
by.
fuck does it mean by truth.
Yeah, I think God is kind of super rational, so I mean, I don't disagree with you, Testy.
Okay. Truth is determined by a couple different things. We have experiential qualia, right? And that's phenomenological data, anecdotes. And that's done through associative programming, right? We see something and it's just imprinted on our brain. And
So
then
it's
there's
just
the
is
empirical.
your pure
And this
empiricist
is where,
then? Truth is what we can test.
yes,
Is that true?
when God made the rainbow, it was a
No.
permanent thing, right?
Can you test the claim that truth is obtained by empirical data? Can you test that?
Yes. That's how we value the theories. That's how we weight the confidence of theories, compare them,
Awesome.
and
Can
choose
you
which one is.
can you show me the object that you can experience that is empirical data?
What?
Yeah, you need to. You said that you can test it. Thus, you have to have access to the object
Yeah,
that
no,
is
I'm making the
empirical data.
distinction. I'm
No.
making the
I need
distinction
to.
between experiential evidence and empirical evidence. We can experience a rock falling, but how does that prove that the moon makes the tides?
It has nothing to do with the question I'm asking.
Yeah, you're not listening to Emmett's question, I think.
You said that truth is obtained through experience, and then I ask you if that claim is true, and you said yes, and then I said, can you test that claim? And I still need to know how you're gonna test it in a way that is empirical.
Prediction.
I don't think you're getting the question set. Like
What
if
the
you're
fuck?
making the claim that everything has to be testable to be true. Emmett's saying, take that thing you just said. Can you empirically show that what you just said is true? So it's like going one step beyond that. So you're saying that claim, and we're asking, I guess, could you test that claim? And I think the obvious answer is no. You're saying that as an assertion that can't be empirically tested, right? There'd be no way to do that. Does that make sense, or am I not explaining it good?
No, that makes sense.
How do you test whether or not truth can be measured through testing?
You can't.
Exactly, you can't.
So therefore, not
What do you
every
mean?
that statement that you
just
said then
compare an ordered
can't be
system
true.
to a random system.
Yeah, but you're presupposing order.
What?
You're presupposing that there is a system, you're presupposing that there is order, and you're presupposing that we can test the order and the system.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you're just being like, then if that is the case, you're not actually, the claim that you're making that there is a system and order, you cannot test that. You're just presupposing it. You are asserting it. Oh, it exists because I
No.
say so. Yes.
No, it exists because we can compare things, which is
No,
part of
I don't have
experience
access
and
to your
testing.
comparisons in this case.
You
Right? If you are an
do,
individual,
you are
I'm a
just
different
choosing not to
person.
make
I don't have
them.
access to your brain.
You do. That is communication.
No, I don't have access to your
That is
brain.
how
I
we
would have
share
access to
and
my
externally
interpretation
validate
of.
and test the truth and measure the
No,
truth through
you're not
communication.
understanding. I don't have access to your
I'm
brain.
understanding you're just being
You make
obstinate about
sounds.
your point on this, and you haven't
If you
actually
are
said anything.
no, you
that
make the same.
is
You
true
literally
or
saying that
test,
we're
or
empiricists.
you're
Okay.
making the claim and you're
Yeah, you are
asserting
making the
the
claim.
You have not
No.
explored this whatsoever.
I have a lot.
Prove it.
Prove what? That I don't have access to your brain? Yeah, I don't have access to it. I don't know how the fuck you're feeling. I don't know what the fuck you're thinking. You say stuff, and I have access to my interpretation of whatever you're saying. I have access to my brain, to my ideas, right?
I mean, Seth, wouldn't you have to say that your statement is just axiomatic?
Truth, and that
You're-
subjective truth is not
yes,
dependent upon external stimulus that can be agreed upon, that is not dependent upon a frame disagreement, actually.
That is what
That's
that's the debate. That's what we're trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out how you get to the idea of going to true statements outside of your subjective experience. And this is that's the question is, well, what is truth? If you're gonna come up and give us the idea of, oh well, I can get access to truth, I wanna know how.
Predictions and testing. That's how falsification works.
To divination. Then if you're wrong
but
about
even
any
Seth-
kind of prediction, then
Seth, you at least agree with what I said earlier that, like, I understand that is your standard for some types of truth, and it's a good standard for some types of claims. But like the example I gave of like history, right? If you think of like, did World War II happen? You understand that's obviously not repeatable. So if you would feel comfortable saying, yeah, the thing we call World War II, something happened, right? That Germany was, invaded Poland. We can't empirically test that. There's no way we can, right? That's a historical thing that happened.
Test the method by which we gather the data.
wait, but how even the method, you have to presuppose that that you can change the
Exactly. You
method
have
and the
to
method is
know
going to be
the
better.
method.
Yeah, you're just presupposing stuff. That is the
presuppose
thing
the
that I'm trying to. Well, yeah, but I mean, the problem with that at the end of the day is that the presupposition is arbitrary unless you have a way to justify it. If I can presuppose whatever the hell I
You're jumping
want.
to the conclusion of a subjective truth.
You're jumping to the conclusion of, well, you're not giving me anything to
You're
believe
just
that
mirroring
you're
my
not just
argument.
a
You aren't
subjective.
providing anything substantive to
You're not
yours.
providing me anything to believe that you're not just a subjectivist. I think you are a subjectivist. Yeah, because I'm asking you, how do you get to objectivity? And all you're telling me is
You
is
have the
presuppositions
free
that you
will
accept.
to reject
All that you're
the truth
giving
all
me
you
is
want,
presupposition.
and that is
All
a
that you're giving
subjective
me,
reality. Your subjective
all that-
reality exists.
yes.
That doesn't disprove an objective reality. We
I
prove
get
objective
it.
reality through constant
I
testing.
I
We don't
understand that,
prove
but
gravity exists.
testing
We constantly disprove every other theory.
that might
I
be
wish
true.
I don't see why you're not agreeing with me that this only applies to like scientific facts, Seth. I don't get how you're like even like your history thing. You have to know that doesn't make any sense, right? Like that we can't
What
obviously
isn't
empirically
scientific
test
fact in that
history.
regard?
Well, it's
We
not
use
scientific
science for
fact.
forensics.
We use science to in an adjacent way. If we're trying to figure out if Socrates lived, we're trusting that people wrote down what copied Plato's books, and Plato wrote about Socrates, but we can't test any of these things. But there's a degree of certitude we have if enough testimony says
Yeah,
it.
we
But that's
can.
not science.
If we couldn't test them, then we couldn't verify the authenticity of authorship or anything like that.
How?
That's what
Okay, so
forensics are all about.
walk me through it. Walk me through that. How would we know that Plato ever existed, or Socrates? How do we know this? What are we empirically doing to know this?
So the first thing is looking for archaeological evidences. You find a house, you find stuff in the
There's
house.
no
and you know
archaeological
someone
evidence
lived there.
of Plato or Socrates, obviously.
I know. I am just establishing.
I'm asking in that
these,
specific example. We probably think that Plato existed, right? What science are you applying to figure that out? Again, the best you have is just people have copied books that they say Plato wrote, and people at the time are like, yeah, there's some guy named Plato, and we're trusting them through not original manuscripts by any means, but we all still think Plato. So we're using something different than science to arrive at that truth statement. We all feel probably comfortable being like, yeah, Plato existed. We're not using science for that.
We're comparing all those different claims about who Plato was to each other.
Yeah, but that's not empiricism.
It is.
That's like definitionally not empiricism.
No, that's not
If it
empiricism.
doesn't have internal consistency, then
That's a
it's
different
going
thing.
to fail.
If that's what you mean, consistency is a different thing. Empiricism is not just
There's
is something
three
consistent.
epistemic principles. You got internal consistency, external validation, Occam's razor. They all
That's
go
not
into
empiricism. Then I think we're just talking past each other, because that's not what people. That's not what people mean when they say empiricism. Empiricism is something that you can like repeatedly test. It's not just like you don't arrive
An
at
experience.
mathematics through empiricism,
point.
right? You arrive at math proofs through not empiricism. You're not like doing any like testing. It has to be consistent. Keelan's gonna mock me for even mentioning math, but you're applying rules. There's consistency, but you're not empirically testing a mathematical formula, right? It's just like if that's what you mean by empiricism, then yeah, we're definitely like talking way past each other. If you're including things like consistency and all that stuff into it.
It sounds like you're oversimplifying empiricism. Like, you understand that there is the hundreds, if not thousands of years of math going behind, or not math, philosophy going behind even the simple math that builds all of these forms of validating claims.
None of that's empiricism, though.
It
Like,
is.
you can't
have empiricism without internal consistency. You can't have empiricism without external validation.
That's an entirely different thing. That's like saying you can't build a house without wood or lumber or concrete. That doesn't mean the concrete is the house or the wood is the house. Yes, you need to have consistency for empiricism to work. You need a consistent universe to even do scientific tests. It doesn't mean a consistent universe is empiricism, right? Like that, those are like different things.
It's a presupposition of it. And this is so. Yes, of course it is. What are you talking about?
It's a necessary assumption in order for any science or math.
It's a necessary assumption. You're assuming.
It doesn't mean those assumptions are tantamount to the science, though, right? Like that's the distinction.
It means that
literally doesn't.
Because that assumption never fails in prediction.
Are you saying that to prove the assumption, or to prove empiricism, or to prove that empiricism is how we arrive at all? I don't know what you mean by what you're saying. Like, I agree we need a consistent universe for empiricism to work. If the laws of nature, I know, but do you not get what I'm saying? That like it's kind of like saying you need a universe. I need a universe to stream, but my stream is not the universe. My stream is contingent upon the universe existing. But it would be silly if I said my stream is the same as the universe. My stream just requires that the universe exists, right?
Or
empiricism requires that we have consistency and all this stuff. Yeah, one doesn't prove the other.
If your stream didn't exist in the universe, it would be a different universe, right?
My stream, no, I'm saying no, that's not what I'm saying.
Let me put it this way.
The fact that I have a stream could prove that the universe exists, because the universe is a necessary precondition for me to have a stream, but you can't go the other way around. You can't just say because the universe exists, therefore my stream exists, and those are the same thing.
Well, you can actually do it the other way too. The fact that the stream exists doesn't mean that there's not a possibility that a completely different universe is the one that is existing. Like, the idea is the stream exists, but it doesn't mean that the universe we have right now is necessary for the stream to exist. It's just
Right,
that
but I would
it's
say-
just that we exist on it, and you know, it's like, oh well, it obviously exists as it is right now, but you cannot use it as a logical form. You cannot say the fact that the stream exists means that the laws of the universe are what they are. That doesn't make any sense.
No, but I think you could say that in order to have this stream going, there has to be something that we're calling a universe. Maybe it could look somewhat different, but
that's what I
we have
mean.
the
It
king
can
of
be a
burgers
different
himself.
logically. It's kind of a fallacy, but logically, it can mean that there is a different universe. It doesn't
How
mean
many
that
universes
you're following
do we
it.
have? One universe, two universe.
Hello, Mr. Burger
three
King.
how's it going, Bradley?
I
Yeah, there better be a hat under that hat.
just hair.
Oh, terrible. That
There
was
is a hat
secondary
under that
hat.
hat.
Hang on.
Hey, at least you got hair. Oh wait, I talked too soon. Oh wait, I talked too soon.
Nah, I don't like that.
So I'm very curious about like how it would affect your faith if the miracles weren't as impressive if you got to see it as you believe they are from the descriptions we have.
It wouldn't, because it's impossible. It's a logical impossibility. Anyway, I gotta go, Confluence. I got some stuff to do. So I'll be seeing you later.
Oh, Sevens, Emmett.
Take good care.
Of what?
I guess yeah, I would I guess it depends on what you mean by like how less impressive. Like if you mean that I go back and I hate Family Guy, but there's the Family Guy skit where Jesus is like doing like the little thumb coming out and stuff, and like it's all just like nonsense. Like if that's what you mean, yeah, that would probably change my faith a bit in Christianity. But if you just mean the miracles are a bit jazzed up, but they're still like supernatural, I don't really think that would affect it. But yeah, if he's doing like David Blaine stuff, then and I'm like, oh, he's just like fooling the masses with just like stage magic. Well, then of course it would change things.
And for 30 days, Jesus was trapped within a block of ice.
So like healing the lame can be as simple as removing a tick, right? And so an act of kindness, laying on hands, washing, that kind of stuff, easily
One time
perceived
my
as a
dad
miracle
removed a
from the
tick from my
outside.
dog.
You need close detailed.
My dog had a tick, and my dad removed it by putting a cigarette out on his head.
That works, yeah. But we'd have to change all of the Bible accounts if we're gonna like reduce all miracles.
exactly what
It would be like
happened,
saying when
isn't it?
Jesus walked on water, maybe there was like a thin layer of ice, and that's why he walked on the water. It's like
You
yeah,
knew where
that's
to
what you
step
mean.
for sure.
He what?
He knew where to step. It was a very thin path.
He was wearing his lemon pepper steppers.
I mean, maybe he was running like one of those lizards, that can like run across the surface of the water. That's possible. Yeah.
But
I don't think
I know
there
that's
was
the that's the
shouldn't
thing. Like I
affect
kind of
your faith,
agree
it's
with
the thing.
with section. It's like a lot of these things are, the things that they're saying is like it's very. I mean, Lazarus was like dead for like multiple days, for example, right? Like you'd have to go back and like fundamentally change and rewrite like all of it. And then why not just throw it all away? Why not just say none of it happened and he just lied about it? That's, if we're using Occam's razor, that's the more likely one than the fact that all these miracles are kind of true, but they're like so wrong. He was just actually pulled off a tick. He actually just stepped on ice and no one noticed that there was ice. Like, I think that's like why even go? It's like just bite the bullet and just be like, yeah, everyone made this shit up then. Like to me, that would be like the more logical explanation.
because morality is really important to humans.
Wasn't there boats involved? When the boat?
Yeah, there was. Yeah. You would think so. You would think so. Yeah. But
I'm just
it's like
astounded by
I
like
think we should hinge our
how is the
faith.
totality of it about the miracles?
It's not. I'm not explaining myself right. I'm not saying that totality is, but obviously, if I have like faith in the Bible as like a true and trustworthy collection of books, and then I go back in time, let's say somehow, and I find out that none of this stuff happened, it's going to make me question a lot, you know. And especially if we're talking about miracles like Jesus rising from the dead, well, that kind of breaks down the whole story. And now, again, we're left with a cool moral system, which I guess is what you're saying. And that's fine, but then you're basically like Indian Jesus, where you're like, hey, I like Christian morals. I don't think any of it's true. I don't think that does anything. I mean, like, yeah, I guess, yeah, morals are nice. I mean, I like morals, but that's not going to save anyone. That's not going to like change anyone's life fundamentally. That's not going to, when I think about like spiritual transformation, it's not going to happen.
I have always thought that if you went back in time, you would be very disappointed in everything that history says that it was. I don't think that history is accurate. I think that people lie, and history is made by the winners, and the people that are able to write history down are the ones that are in power or whatever. And I think a lot of it is probably lies.
Who's that bitch that the freaking Trojans or whatever went to like war over because she was like so beautiful? What if you went back in time and she was just like mid? She was just like a 5 out of 10. You're like, you guys like went to war over this girl? Like, what?
Ugliest bitch you've ever seen.
Have you seen the Cleopatra coins?
Yeah.
Have you seen the Cleopatra coin?
No.
What is
they just drew her wrong.
She has a
okay,
big forehead. Cleopatra
was hot as fuck. That's what I think in my head canon.
I'm gonna bet you $100 that Cleopatra had a 5 head. Now go on with this big.
Bradley. Elder line, thanks for the $5. What is the Burger King's position on free burgers for the peons? Yes, I too want to. Can us peons have some free burgers, or what's good?
Let them eat French fries.
Testy, you should get on the panel so I can rip your balls off, okay?
Oh,
because we need more atheists. Okay, we need more atheists. I mean, Seth is basically an atheist, but I'm sorry, Seth, but we need like a for real atheist. I know Testy says he's
my God's greater than yours.
But Testy is like the worst kind of atheist because he's not even a good atheist. He's actually a bad atheist, which is like, why would you even be a bad atheist? That's just like, that's terrible. That's terrible. At least be a good atheist.
I could be an atheist.
Bradley, what are you? You're agnostic? Oh, here he comes.
I have it in me.
Man of the hour. Testicular Johnson himself.
Technically, I am an atheist because I don't believe in your God.
I'm subjecting myself to this because you've already set me up. So what do you want?
Well, I guess I want to hear what do you think, Testy? Because you said something that really triggered me that I thought was the gayest thing I've read all day. That was where is it? Where is it? Oh wait, no, that's not it.
Burning bush.
No. This cancerous rot.
Oh, the moral stuff.
Moral stuff is more important than the woo-woo shit. I mean, it depends what you mean by woo-woo shit. No, the spiritual, the real experiential transformation. That's the whole point of religion. Religion, the word religion etymologically means union.
Oh, you're going to do etymological fallacy? I see how it is.
I'm not doing fallacy. I'm just saying it means that. And if you look at every world religion, they all point to union.
Which is unreal.
And morals alone is not going to bring you union with the divine. That's the whole point of life.
Well, let's take Buddhism as an example. Like Buddhism doesn't even propose that there are gods, right? Like,
that's not true. Everyone in the West says that's actually completely not true.
There's like the spiritual ascension or nirvana or whatever, but there's not.
No, that's not true. That's true of like one small branch of Buddhism. If you go to actually Buddhist countries, they have all sorts of gods. They have all sorts of idols to gods. I've been to Buddhist temples.
They worship a lot of them worship Buddha as like a god, quote unquote. But
have you heard of the Legend to the West or the Journey to the West?
Like creationist thing, right? Am I wrong? Buddhism doesn't believe in like a creationist worldview.
The creationist thing, but they definitely believe in like a spiritual reality where people are like, it's not like when I guess that's what you mean. They're not atheistic by any means.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, well, yes, but I see what you're saying. They're not atheistic, but I'm saying that they're saying that humans can like reach this next plane of existence, right? So in a similar
Right.
fashion, maybe. Yes, but there's no, as far as I know, there's no like capital G God that oversees any of this. This is just like a piece of the universe.
Original God.
Yeah, I think
the only reason I bring it up is to point out that, like, I mean, yeah, obviously it's a little inflammatory to say the woo-woo shit. Because I have even made this thing early on. I said that if you take all the stuff about God out of the Bible, it's actually like it's got some good stories, some good allegories. Like it's just a little bit preachy, you know.
Ooh, yeah.
So I think there's good moral lessons. I think all religions try to teach you how to live a quote unquote good life, and I think that those are positive things, even for secular society. So you want to attach all this other shit to it, but you don't have to.
Okay, let me hit you with some gay shit. Okay, so
let me open up my crack.
So Hinduism is obviously incredibly variegated, right? There's obviously a lot of different paths. Okay, one of these paths is called Raja Yoga, not to be confused with like the yoga that we often do in the West, which is like Hatha yoga, which is like contorting your body and stuff like that. Raja yoga is like a spiritual path to achieve union with God. The first 2 steps of Raja yoga are about like morals and getting yourself into like a good moral space. And the next like 6 steps are all like designed to get you into that union, right? And I feel like we see the same thing in Buddhism, where it's like you have, it's like leading a good life and being like a good person. That's like step 1. So it's like I don't discount that. I think it's great that Christianity teaches people good morals some of the time, a lot of the times. But that's just like the beginning. Like life is about so much more than that. Like and I think almost all religions seem to acknowledge this, right? That's why none of them are just like this self-help about like teaching you how to like just control your urges and just like be a good person. Like it always goes so much beyond that. And in all of these systems, it's only like the beginning steps of just like, hey, like, yeah, try to do this, do these good moral actions. And then it like spirals out. And we're saying what you guys are saying, take away all the spiral, take away everything else. And we're just going to do like the initial steps. And then we're good. And we'll just chill until we die. That's fucking blackpilling.
Do you think
why is that blackpilling? Why do you have such an issue with it? Sorry, Bradley.
Because the whole point of life is to achieve union with God and union with other people and union with reality and experience itself. And y'all fuckers just want to like stop it like, oh, I'm like trying to be a good person. I'm doing like nice things. I have empathy. Those are good things. But that's the initial, that's like getting through the door of like living like a fulfilling and meaningful life. Okay.
I'll trigger you now because I've had this criticism for a while. But like, no, I think that those first couple things you mentioned are like, I think we should be judged by our actions primarily, not our words. Having said that, I think that
the color of our skin.
Or the color of our skin. Thank you, Bradley. But no, I think
we should or we shouldn't be judged by the color of our skin.
We should not. I don't know.
I get that one confused all the time.
But yeah, I mean, I guess from like my perspective, obviously, I mean, you can attach all this other shit to it. I think what ends up happening is that you're like, well, look at this person's faith. Look at how faithful and look how like steadfast their belief is. And I think that often overshadows their deeds within life. And this is why you often, especially in these spaces, there's tons of people who are just like pieces of shit and will say shitty things constantly. And you're like, well, they're still part of the club at the end of the day. They still believe, so therefore they're still better than the baseline of all of these other people.
I'm not saying that.
No,
I don't care about that.
No, you do. You tacitly endorse it every single day. So like,
how dare you? How dare you?
Yeah.
In what way?
And so, my point is, I don't. Well, and obviously, like, you know, yeah, I'm a bad atheist or I'm agnostic, right? I'm just gonna keep saying I'm agnostic till it sticks.
Bad atheist.
But my point is, like, yeah, I mean, I judge people on their actions first and foremost, and then the only other thing I have to go off of is their words, right? And I am also kind of a believer of that thing where it's like, when people tell you who they are, believe them type of thing, right? Unless given other reasons. I get it. People play characters, all these other things. But I'm saying that is a far better metric to like judge people by than like how much faith they might have. They could.
I agree. I don't disagree.
All right,
okay. Wait, we're just wait. Elder, thank you. Let's get Bradley in real life. Yeah, okay, next one. I'll get Bradley to do it. The peons are rebelling. The fries are not enough. They need the burgers to survive. True. Thank you, Elder, for the $5.
I thought that was $50. That's why I blew so hard. I'm sorry. I can't see straight.
It's lightheaded. But no, like
I
I agree.
Question.
Like I just want to settle this with Pesty Johnson, the bad atheist, because I don't disagree with what he's saying, but I'm not someone who's just like, yeah, I think your words matter, even though he says I tacitly endorse that every day or whatever gay shit he just said. But I think what I would care about is, yeah, what kind of person somebody is, and then like what are they actually trying to do in their like inner life, right? Like that's what I care about, right? So I don't really care if someone's just like, oh, they have correct orthodoxy in like the lowercase o, but they still have like bad orthopraxy. They're not following it, and especially if they're not doing any actual actions to like get closer to God.
Actual actions.
Like I think religious life has to be like lived. It has to be embodied, right? And so it's like, and so that's what I'm saying. The being a good person is the first step. And we shouldn't give people passes just because they say they think something. But then you can't just stop there. You can't just be like, okay, I'm a good person, and that's just enough.
I mean, I can't.
That's like missing. Yeah, you can, but it's like self-harm at a certain point. You're like missing so many like fundamental things about life. You know,
can good actions make up for bad actions? That's a question.
That is a good question, actually.
Yeah, like if you kill someone but you donate like a bunch of money, I think that's like probably balances out at the end of the day.
We're kind of making but here's the thing, and this is a real thing because I've heard this on the news. There was a doctor who I assume, whatever, it could, or whatever, he might have saved a lot of lives. As a doctor, you might have saved a lot of lives. But this one night, he happened to drink and drive and run over a teenager skateboarding and kill her. So, you know, he's killed one life, but saved 72. How does that work?
Yeah, I personally, I don't believe in like karmic justice type of or like this karmic scales. I think that in the framing of a lot of like religious people, they believe that like, well, there is a final tally at the end. There is some objective. There is somebody there who's going to be able to weigh the scales. And you know, I guess what's the Egyptian thing? I think it's like with Anubis.
That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah,
is the god.
Yeah, maybe you're right, but. So like,
a bunch.
Also, sorry to interrupt. I just want to say, Dom, I see you in the back. You have to cam up because I don't think I know you, and you have to give me a couple of hand signs that I'll direct you to. But go ahead.
Hey, Mr. Tallyman, tally me sins.
Give me one of these, Dom. Oh, maybe I've seen you before.
Give
me one of these, and then thumbs up. Okay, bringing you up. You can cam down if you want. I think I've had you on before though, Dom.
I don't know if I have a good answer because when you say does it absolve?
I've been on here before.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Okay, yeah, I thought I recognized you.
There's a glare.
Sorry, Testy, keep going. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no. Well, I think answering Bradley's question is extremely difficult because you're like in your example, somebody who is objectively done a lot of good, saved a lot of lives, and then they did something extremely irresponsible, reckless, and they destroyed someone's life and multiple people's lives, right? Anybody connected to this other person who they hit when they were driving drunk. So, this is going to trigger confluence. I think whether or not they're a good person is kind of relative to all the people that they saved and all the people whose families they saved. They would probably still say, well, it's still a good thing. Like they might see that as the sign of like, well, sorry, go ahead.
It could just be their job. They could not want to save these people. They just could want to make money. And they have this ability to be a doctor, which not a lot of people do. So they just want to make money. They don't care. They don't give two shits about the person. And some people do die when they're trying to save them. And they might not give two shits. That does, of course, come into question. But that kind of makes more of it like a specific question when we could be throwing this out to like a fireman saves lives, but that's also their job. But right. You would have to be more heroic. To be a fireman, it's not just your job. It would have to be something you're passionate about because you're risking your life too. The doctor's not risking his life to cut you open and take out your spleen, throw it around for a juggle with your fucking lung. No, but a fireman has to run into a fucking burning building and risk his life to save yours. So if he saved 100 people or whatever and killed one, and he didn't mean to, yes, I would have to say that's forgivable. But
I feel like the trolley problem would simplify this a little bit.
they're in it for bad reasons, they still have to learn to work with and care for human beings. All right. Even if they're in it for greedy reasons, their whole job revolves around caring for the needy. So
I don't know if they get like points for that though. Not that we're giving out points, but if we are, and they're doing it purely for they fucking hate everyone they save, but they're like, well, I have to like learn how to care for them so I can get that bag. I don't know if I'd be like, that's a good person, you know?
It's a job and they're taught to do it a specific way. And if the way they do it doesn't save the person, it's no sweat off their back. And that's the way they have to do it. So it's not like being a fireman. That's why I brought that up. It's kind of, they can be a complete piece of shit asshole who doesn't give two shits about the person, does the job the way they're taught it, saves a person, or doesn't. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, they're not facing the consequences. I actually, Testy, I actually am not as triggered as you might think about what you said. I think we're all on a journey of transformation, not to get too like woo-woo, but
you're gonna be a woman.
So I think there is going to be relativistic judgments made about people. And I don't think we can just like make a pure like point system. I think the goal is to become a better person, but not just morally, a better person in every way.
Yeah. You have to want it just to do good. Cause you know, that's the thing to do.
You guys know the Charlie problem, right?
Oh yeah.
It's not about doing good. It's about not doing bad things. That's really what it comes down to. And that's where most people fail, because they're either doing bad things, or more like most people, they're complacent with other people doing bad things on their behalf.
So if somebody does nothing at all, their whole life, they do absolutely nothing, they're a good person?
Good night, Oxy.
Well, you know the Charlie problem?
If they never harmed anyone else, they're doing a lot better than most others.
Yeah, it might arguably be better to like do nothing than do something bad, right?
You
So
should probably
maybe
contribute to society in a positive manner. That at least, that's at the very least. That to be a good person.
The very obligation
you will
that society places on people to produce for it is immoral.
No, but you have to. No, Dom, though, you have to, like, if you're gonna try to make a difference in the world or in your friends' lives, you will have times where you like fuck up, where you give someone bad advice, or you like to just like sit in your basement and just like never talk to anyone. Yeah, I guess you're gonna really limit the harm you're doing in the world. I don't think that's like a good way to live life, though. I don't think that's good for you or good for other people. There's gonna be failures.
And that's
yes, Seth, I know I hate the trolley problem. I mean, it's fun. It's fun. But philosophically, I hate it because I just think it's nonsense. I think that all of the trolley-adjacent problems are fucking nonsense. But they're fun. So I like them that way.
Well, don't poo-poo it. What do you obviously have an example in mind? Do you have a specific? Because I know there's a million variations. Or did you just?
Yeah. What I would say is that I am and I don't. Give me like 30 seconds to unpack this. I would say I'm not a moral relativist in the normal sense of the word. I believe in that morality is objective. But where I am a moral relativist is I think you have to be to truly know something, a moral action. I think you have to be that person in that moment. You have to have that brain chemistry, and then it's possible to know what is the true right and wrong thing to do. And so in all of these like trolley problems, they all get so complex. I don't think there is like a right answer in most of these cases. Like, I think it's like if you were there, you would have some like intuition on what you would do. But if you're like, oh, there's 5 people, but they all felonies, and there's like 2 people in the other track. One of them's pregnant, but one of them's also a pedophile. And it's like, it just gets into, there's no right answer to these questions. Like, so they're fun to like debate, but like they don't lead anywhere like productive in terms of like figuring out morality.
I agree.
Except they can point, I will say this, they can point to moral intuition sometimes, like the classic example of like, would you save like 20 embryos that are like in a burning building, and if there's one baby, would you save the baby or save the 20 burning embryos? Right, that can like show some moral intuition. Yeah, so that's like an abortion argument that people will make, like to show that like pro-life people, they actually do think a baby is more valuable than embryos.
But how could there couldn't be just embryos? There had to be.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait, what are you talking about? No, like I'm talking about like an IVF clinic. There is embryos in IVF clinics right now. There's like millions of them in America right now. There's embryos.
No, don't tell me that. Oh
yeah, there's millions of live embryos that are just frozen.
Yeah.
The place is on fire. You got to save all these jars of little fucking.
Right? It sounds pretty stupid, doesn't it, Bradley? I agree. It's crazy.
Right, and I think it is helpful because even for me, who is very pro-life, if there was a live baby versus 20 embryos, I'm probably grabbing that baby. And that can at least be helpful, I think, in thinking, well, why am I making that choice? And so I think trolley problems and trolley adjacent problems can help in that way to think, oh, this is my moral gut response. Why do I have that? And like, what are the reasons? And so I think it'd be helpful in that way.
Wait, hang on. You'd be the hero.
The evolutionary answer is likelihood of survivability.
Your whole life, you'd be known as the hero that saved embryos.
Yeah,
but then you can scale it. What if it's 2,000 embryos? What if it's 2 million embryos? What if they're guaranteed to go into the mother and fertilize it, or not fertilize, but grow?
Embryo left behind.
You tell them. Sorry, I think Dom.
So the point that I was going to make about the trolley problem was that supposing you don't switch the lever and run over the more people, the defense you give in court matters as to the guilt weighed upon you. If you say that you didn't pull the lever because you wanted to watch everyone die, that is a very different punishment than saying you didn't pull the lever because you didn't feel comfortable making that choice.
Okay, I actually was about to jump on you, and I'm glad I didn't, because I agree, because I think morality is all about intention, and that's kind of my stance with these trolley problems, because you have to be in the moment, and then you're going to make what is your intention. I think regardless, if you're making the best possible moral decision you can in that moment, I don't think a God is going to judge you. I don't think that makes sense. If you truly are,
I think you're wrong there.
I don't think I am. I mean, what are you being judged
the biggest
on?
problem with the trolley problem is that it basically is like, how did you even get in this situation in the first place? It just assumes you're in a situation outside of your control and you must act. And you're
but I mean, obviously it's an absurd hypothetical. Sure, just like the embryo argument, it's an absurd hypothetical, but we can't pull a Jordan Peterson and be like, by the time you've entered that situation, you've committed so many sins.
I've had this conversation with you before, Confluence, but I think that like this idea of judging intentions, right? I mean, that's certainly like a viable way. I think in general, that's probably the best approach, even for people. But I think if you're saying, well, all of the information that you had available and you made like the best possible choice based on that, the context of what was happening, you're like, God should understand that. But like you're weighing that against some sort of like there is an objective moral standard. That means there is always objectively a correct choice. So regardless of whether or not your best of intentions, which the path to hell is actually paved with, I've heard, it doesn't make a difference. So like I don't see how do you square that circle?
Well, I'm separating the best moral outcome, I guess, and even separating the best moral action from the knowability of that moral action. So you can make the best possible moral judgment. I'm not saying that is a moral choice. So let's say for some reason, like I guess even if we use a real world example of when we were talking about North Korea the other day, I don't know if that was yesterday, all my streams get confused, about like the brainwashing and stuff. If someone makes the best possible decision but ends up being wrong, I would still say they're making a morally wrong choice. I think objectively they are. But from their standard and what if God is going to judge them, I think God knows the brainwashing has been done. God knows their intention. And so if truly they are making the best intention, that's why I specifically said I don't think God would judge them. I'm not saying they did something they actually acted in the best possible moral way. But morality is to some degree like unknowable. We're punting toward it. But I don't think we can ever have like a precise.
Morality is very simple. It basically comes down to the fact you own yourself and everyone else owns themselves. Therefore, if you interfere in their ability to interact in the world with their body, which they own, you are a bad person. And if you don't interfere with other people,
if you think about that for like 10 more seconds, though, you'll realize that it like spirals into infinite complexities like so fast. Like, what do you mean? Like, if I'm using my body and I'm like using it to do fraudulent actions, let's say I'm like check kiting and someone stops me, are they doing the immoral act or am I? Because I'm using my body. So now are we adding a separate thing that if you're somehow doing some fraudulent thing, then that's what we've already moved away from my body.
You answered your own question by saying you're doing fraud. That assumes that you're interfering with other people's ability to interact in the world, because fraud is an act that harms other people and steals their property. That
Okay,
which
Okay, so
is
it's not
wrong
so.
by yours.
Okay, so it's
So
not
if
just about moving
someone
around the
stops-
world.
No, it's all about who initiates harm. That's what's important. Whoever. This is why I said morality. A moral person is basically what you don't do. Because if you're not interfering with other people's ability to interact in the world, you're basically a good person because you're allowing
Is-
freedom to
I guess
prevail.
you could. Okay, do you think
And
like
that's
the
what God
U.S.
does.
is like? Is the U.S. interfering right now? Is the government interfering?
Yes.
Their government
At
interferes with
all
me.
times. At all times.
So
through
okay, so you're
coercion
like a
within their
libertarian.
jurisdiction.
Is that? That's
No,
what I was
I'm
getting.
actually an anarchist.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is 100%
no, even worse.
No, but I
Even
was surprised you
worse.
didn't catch that. This is what's it called though? I'm trying to find it. It's the thing about force, right? You know,
I
there's
mean,
the-
it just comes down
May I
to
point out,
own
Confluent,
yourself. You're
oh, fuck,
responsible
what's
for
it
thank you,
your
called?
body.
God, for this moral
You don't talk
This
discussion.
is your God-given natural right.
Yeah, the
You own
thing,
your body.
the
No one
harm
else has the
harm
right to
doctrine,
force you to do anything.
harm principle,
Yeah.
harm principle.
oh, what's it called?
It's a harm
The
principle, right?
non-aggression principle.
Non-aggression principle. There it
Oh,
is.
non-aggression.
Yeah, thank
Okay,
you.
yeah.
Fuck, yeah. See, I was like, that's what I was googling furiously. So when you said libertarian, I'm like, no. This is 100% anarchist coded, which is fine. Whatever. But
Hey, it's 2026. Okay.
wait, are you like? Well, you said something about private property, so I'm assuming you're of the ANCAP variety. Is that accurate? Dom?
Yeah. What was your
You-
question?
Oh, I asked if you're an ANCAP because you mentioned private property, so I assume that's something you value.
Well, most people think of property as like the physical things, materialistic things you own, but it's more than that. Your property is how you use your body in the world. It's your action. So what you're doing right now is you're using your body, which is your property, to talk to people on the internet. And if someone came to your door and swatted you or unfortunately or something, that person is wrong 100% of the time. If someone is DDoSing you, that's a harmful act that's interfering with your ability to
Swatted me.
communicate freely.
I understand. So, well, that doesn't quite answer my question though. But but you believe in private property then?
Do you believe
Private property is that which is properly yours. It's your very body. Your body is your property. The stuff that
Wait,
you
can
put
you
your energy
own a
into
house?
is your property.
Yeah,
Your house is your property because
Can you own a tree?
Can you?
Can you own another person? I guess you'd say no to that.
No.
No,
Is this
black
country my
person,
property?
No, that would be a very.
Are you in my yard?
Yeah, like can you own a house?
I mean,
or
why can't
land?
you?
Can you
No,
own a
that's
blade of
trespass.
grass?
You cannot enter another person's living space against their will.
Domicile.
Hold on, why
Yeah.
can't
That was
you
a good
own
poll.
a person?
You're breathing my air right now. Stop it. That's
Your
mine.
wide nose
That's my air.
having.
I'm not trying to meme. I'm actually trying to clarify, but that's fine. It does. I'm also
Yeah,
cool
that's
with
not
it.
what that is anyway, because you don't own the air.
Confluent.
Your property is what you put
So-
energy and time
I mean,
into.
I
Your
own
house
your,
is
I own
yours
your
because
image,
it's body.
right?
With money is a form of energy. You maintain it by paying the bills. You might do renovations. You might paint it. You might
Like,
do whatever.
I don't
live in
see
it.
how you don't
Put
see how this
energy.
gets so confusing. Like, how much land can you own? Like, what counts as
All of
putting
it.
energy into the land?
You
If you
own
just,
the river,
if you,
you
yeah, if
maintain
you
it.
Oh, wait, is
claim an
this
entire
about
liver
socialism?
or a
You
lake,
can't own air.
and you go
Or
once a year
libertarianism or
over
some
the
bullshit?
lake, does that count as maintaining? Like, this gets so fuzzy instantly. Can someone else drink the water from the lake that you own? Are you allowed to pollute the lake because someone
know-
might drink the water? Like, this is like, as soon as you think about this for 2 minutes, the whole thing like falls apart, and you need like more
Skyscrapers
extra
have to
steps.
Own air. Skyscrapers.
Hold on,
they own air.
what's the bullshit that's being
Oh,
talked
the
about here?
airspace. You're right. Yeah, they do.
He's a ANCAP.
This
I
is
think
what
that-
natural law. This is what natural law revolves
I
around.
need
It
to fight.
revolves
I need to
around
fight you.
voluntary action and interacting in the world in a
No,
way.
does
Natural
not
law
involve
is
voluntary
the-
action.
coerced.
So
Wait,
when
wait,
you're
wait,
talking
let me-
Voluntary
about-
action did
I
you
know everyone
take
wants to stab,
to
but
get
like,
born?
wait,
Well,
when you invoking natural law is a
Voluntary action did
dangerous
you take
thing.
to
Like,
be born?
No, it isn't. Why is it dangerous?
It absolutely is.
How
That means
so?
you have no
Confluent.
power. You have no
I wanted
rights.
to ask you, because you
I was
seem to
wait,
get
law
really
they're-
hyped
they're
up by the
talking
trolley
right now.
problem. What, I wanted to ask you, since you got really hyped up by the trolley problem, why doesn't that emotion continue to apply when you compare it to the comfort you get from believing in miracles?
No,
It's obviously important,
I'm
right?
not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking.
I'm not sure anyone knows what you're asking.
Because it's like two very similar
when
emotions.
when
and
I think of
intensity,
like
but they take
otters
different
holding
directions.
hands, I feel comfort, and then when I think of some like logical problem that like gets me gassed up, I have a different emotional reaction. I don't know if that really like says anything.
What's that
like,
have to do with the miracle?
Did you know that
Otters
otters
holding hands are a miracle.
Compare your emotion on the morals of the trolley problem to your emotions about the miracles.
Right. Well, that's why I brought up the example I brought up. I don't see different things will give me different emotions. Obviously, with miracles, there's not really a heated debate that comes to my mind. The trolley problem, I have like a lot of like thoughts and debates about it. So they're going to produce like different emotional states. I don't know if it. I don't know what you're really even pointing toward.
There's only one answer to the trolley
I'm just
problem.
testing
What's the internal consistency of having different emotional responses to different? Well, I don't know what that means.
What makes one more important to you than the other?
The trolley problems, because I think trolley problems again. I think they're. I don't think they're super like
to the miracles.
The morals to the miracles, or the trolley
your
problems to the
emotions on both of those, the morals and the miracles.
I don't think that.
Right, and you say the miracles are the important part,
I don't know.
but I say the morals are the important part.
The morals.
And you clearly have some strong emotions about the moral investigation, and strong emotion about the miracles.
Settle down.
No reason to believe the morals without the miracles.
I have strong opinions about the trolley problem because I don't think it helps you arrive at correct morals very often. I love morals. I love talking about morality. Don't threaten me with a good time. I just think the trolley problem is very fun. And I think, well, I don't know if it's frustrating. It's just, it's frustrating if people are trying to use the trolley problem to come to like absolute conclusions about morality. I don't think it's useful for that.
Why?
I love talking about different trolley problem things. I think it's fun to like give the argument about why would I do this moral action or this one.
Can I give a quick serious answer to that?
But why are you getting hyped up about it?
Because the trolley problem is not
there right now.
There's like a what's it called, like normative ethics, which is what the trolley problem tries to highlight, right? Or like, let's say the idea of like going back in time and you know killing baby Adolf or whatever. It's like there's the utilitarian correct choice to make, and then there's the practical in terms of how people behave in the real world. Whereas, do you think they could bring themselves to actually kill a baby, even if you knew all of the atrocities they were going to commit?
You don't have to kill baby Hitler. You just
understand. I'm using it as
you raise him right.
Sure, you can
kidnap him and you raise him correctly.
That's a fair point, Bradley. But basically, like I think the trolley problem's limits is that it doesn't reflect reality a lot of the time, and people like to use it as a one-for-one of what the quote-unquote morally correct choice is. When we see just how people operate, nobody operates purely as a deontologist or purely as a utilitarian, or even religious people. They probably have their little caveats and things that they kind of like. Well, God will understand, right? Like confluence. So.
If I can, the trolley problem is much easier represented in like a medical scenario. Like you're a surgeon, there's two people who are critically wounded.
For the very first
right?
time.
You have an option you have the option to help one or help the other. Who do you choose? Whatever. Like the only problem with the trolley problem is you can't split the tracks and hit them both, you know?
Yeah.
You do who you're
it's kind of a lot of these just kind of end up, I guess, in like Sophie's choice problems. Like I'm not even specifically thinking of the original trolley problem, but I'm thinking of like all of the things that are in the trolley problems. And yeah, at a certain point, it's just like, yeah, there's not, you're just trying to pick what you think is the worst option or the least worst option, but none of the options are like good. And even elders saying the best one is to not pick, but you could of course come up with a trolley problem where if you don't pick, it like explodes the whole world, and now you have to pick, and now, like it gets like super autistic, which can be fun.
Yeah, the virtue ethic answer of not picking. I think actually, well, sorry, I know we don't have to run this because trolley problem gets repetitive, but I think that's actually the correct answer, and I think most people, in a practical sense, would choose that option of not deciding, not touching, even if they know the outcome, they would insist that they're not participating in that is therefore the morally correct thing to do.
But do you think most people would do that if it's like 1,000 babies on a track and then like 100-year-old PDF file on the other track. I think most people would pull.
I think most people don't want those heavy things on their conscience, and they will say their refusal to participate absolves them from moral responsibility. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying I personally think that that's what the majority of people would do.
You don't think there's any amount that we could extend this to if it was like all of their loved ones on one track and a PDF file on the other track?
Well, sure, there's a personal stake there.
Eventually people are going to change their stance and not just take the non-action.
Yeah, you can come up with a hypothetical where I'll bite.
That's
the bullet,
problem
right?
with the trolley problem, right? That's the whole thing.
I get what you're trying to highlight, but do you see what I'm trying to highlight? Or I guess what I would see is the limitation of the trolley problem.
Yes, but I feel like you're thinking of it in like a boots on the ground. Well, same with like your baby H, man.
Yeah, applied ethics is like I think the most important aspect of any of
But I don't think I don't think
anyone
in the trolley problem is thinking what you actually would do. I think the thing is like what do you think you ought to do, not what humans would actually do.
What you ought to do,
internal consistency or whatever.
And some people do what they ought to do, and you know what you ought to do is you don't have the right to kill anyone unless it's your life being threatened. So you have to absolve yourself and say, I cannot make it. That is the
Bradley,
only right thing to do.
But Bradley, to ask my retarded question that I asked Testy to you, if it was everyone you've ever loved on one track and 100-year-old PDF file who's gonna die probably in like a year on the other, would you not pull the track?
I don't have the right to kill another person unless I'm protecting my own life.
See, and I would just fundamentally disagree with that.
You have the right to protect others as well.
I respect your opinion. Like, I don't think I'm not saying you're wrong. And this is the thing about the trolley problem.
I guess you do have the right to protect others, but you still don't have the right to kill someone.
What if it's funny? Like,
well, no, I mean, they're both bad options, though. That's kind of the thing.
You aren't in a place where you have the privilege of exerting your full free will.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. If you have choices are still choices, and your free will is your choices, and you got to make choices, and you say, I don't know.
I kind of agree with Kokomo.
The whole point of it being on a trolley
that people wouldn't probably do this, but I think not making a choice is still a choice. Like if every trolley problem, if you had like let's say an infinite amount of time to decide, like time slowed down, and you had all the time to think of the morally correct option, then not choosing would be an option.
Is this just something that is happening, or is somebody forcing this choice, like the Batman thing, where it's like people are pointing a gun to your head and saying you have to kill this person or that person?
My point.
Are you being forced to make this choice, or is this just something that's naturally happening and you have to fucking?
Well,
there has to be the force element. Or there has to be something compelling.
No, because I brought up this example.
Like if there's a fire and you have to save your kid or your partner.
Well, but no, I brought up an example before. If you see a toddler like drowning, you could easily save them, but like that's where you're in action. You could just say, "Well, it's not my kid." You could just keep walking past or whatever. But I'm saying like that is a situation where most people would say your inaction is an immoral action, right? So yeah. If you have the ability,
what I really wanted to weigh was how important is this search for moral truth?
It doesn't have to be your kid; it's another human life.
I agree with you. I'm not saying I would let the kid drown. Sorry.
What's the race of the child? I'm just kidding.
Oh, turn the pencil!
I mean, I was gonna say it. You're bad influence, confluence. I was gonna say, depending on the.
Does it still have its adrenochrome?
So, yeah. Sorry, Seth. I think you had something.
That whiskey smelled like cherries for a second.
Yeah. So my real point of bringing it up that second time was, what is the importance? How do you weigh that value? How do you compare the search for moral truth to the importance of miracles as evidence of claims, the validity of claims, authenticity, or whatever?
I don't care as much about miracles as I do about the continuous ability for what I would constitute miracles to happen. So like I think like with the miracles in the Bible, right? If I found all those are fake, that would make me question the whole validity of the rest of the Bible, right? And especially if Christ didn't rise, then that would throw out the whole kind of Christian everything, right? Besides just the teachings. And like I said before, I think the morals, I think, is the first step And that's why I give the example of Raja Yoga, where even in these other spiritual systems, that's seen as like the very basics. You get that shit sorted out, and then you go on to the real work. And so I feel like the morals are very important. They are a powerful foundation that have to be used throughout your whole life. But there's more steps than that. And I guess so I don't really care so much about just some random miracle happening. It would both, throw away my trust in the Bible and also suggest that maybe we can't do this this whole like sanctification thing. Maybe we can't actually get closer to God. And so that's why I think that's super important.
There's got to be
the 8 limbs. Exactly, Burgess. Exactly. Burgess knows where I'm coming from.
It might be, it's got to be some kind of point system, because there's got to be like, it's about how hard you want to try to be a good person, because it's hard to be a good person. You can't just do nothing. Like we were arguing before. Just doing nothing, you're going to wind up doing bad. You're going to wind up doing more bad than you are good. You have to try to do good. Just doing nothing, you're going to, you walk past some kid drowning. I'm going to do nothing. That's bad. So just doing nothing, staying at home, there could be somebody right next door dying. And just by looking around or walking around, you could save that person. So doing nothing is a bad thing to do. So you could say that. So you have to go out and try to do good. And even living a life, you're going to do bad things. So it's hard to do good, to actually do good deeds. How many times have you done a good deed, although not just not doing something bad? You have to try to not do something bad, let alone doing something good. It's fucking hard.
I agree. I think we're the
what if
cooking.
There was only a
single miracle right now.
That was base, Bradley. You're spitting.
There's a single miracle that Jesus never deviated from that moral truth and never had those kinds of faults. Would that be enough?
You ever read the infancy gospel of Thomas? Okay, Jesus freaking killed a kid. Okay,
the motorcycle accident.
My favorite story of Jesus is when he spit in the eyes of a blind person to cure them of blindness. He did it twice actually. The first time was directly in the eyes, and the second time
so Jew coded of him.
He did mud and then he wiped it in their fucking eyes. And I'm like, what would Jesus do? I'm like, he probably spit in the eyes of a blind man. Sounds like very Jesus coded. I guess I posted this clip. Have you ever seen True Detective?
Be cool.
It's very like there's a bunch of stuff about nihilism in there, but there's one particular scene. It's not a whole. I won't go into the whole nihilist rant, but there's one thing where it's like, if the only thing that keeps people good is the fear of divine punishment, then you're a piece of shit. So if the one thing that's pushing you to be being good and doing good is this idea that you're going to be divinely punished at the end for being a bad person, then I think you were already a piece of shit. So I think for me, that's why the idea of just doing good and like, yes, do your best and you understand right from wrong and always, inaction, whether it's inaction or action, whatever it might be. To me, that aligns like more holistically rather than adding this extra layer of like of the spiritual side of it. That's why for me it's good enough.
Can I hit you with something gay again, Testy?
Yeah.
So this is something that that people will say, and I think I agree with it, but I understand how it might sound. But when they talk about when people talk about like a message of Christianity, I don't know how many people are going to agree with this, but they're like the Bible. They use the analogy like the Bible is like a pool that like kids can wade in, but like adults can like dive into or whatever. I'm probably butchering it, but the idea being that if you are like a surface level person and you're on that like low stage of moral development where you're like, I need to do good because I need heaven, and if I do bad, I get hell, then the Bible works for you. But if you understand these things in a higher context, then you're not good. You're going to be like, yeah, no, obviously that's not the point. There's like a higher meaning to this. And so the Bible fulfills both of those things, right? This
is why it's a useful lie for children. It's like telling them that if they don't behave, Santa Claus won't bring them presents. I 100% agree. It's perfect for children and when you're an adult,
and I would say
you're an adult, you're like, well, you know what? I shouldn't need a book to tell me not to be a piece of shit. I should probably have figured that out by the time I grow up.
Well, yeah, but I don't like when I see the passages of heaven and hell. I mean, maybe I should care more about eternal damnation or something, but I don't. I just see things as I see things in the I don't. When I'm considering doing a moral or immoral act, I'm not thinking, am I gonna be divinely rewarded for this act, right? Like. And so but I don't think that means I have to throw away the stories of the Bible, right? I think there is the depth that you can swim in. And so I think it works for like both people. So it can create that. If you're like an NPC type Christian, for lack of a better word, then you still hopefully aren't going to be like murdering people. But then if you like go deeper, then you've thrown away those fucking weights that are weighing you down.
To put this in my paradigm that I brought up before, let's talk about the other quote unquote NPC Christian, which might be an offensive thing. But let's discuss the NPC person. If they're the ones who
look where I'm at, y'all.
Oh, where's that?
I'm visiting St. Louis. That's the arch.
Oh shit. That's a pretty
you're
nice
still
arch.
in Missouri. Rest in peace.
Hey, get me a Big Mac.
How happy
NPC
do you think God would
Christian.
be if you didn't need any miracles to have faith? in
Hey,
Jesus?
hostile.
Well, what I was,
Well-
or I'll finish my thought real quick, and then you guys can run with it. But I was, to your point, would you still say that the people, because they have some level of belief, even if they're following these things in a more dogmatic way that we would traditionally think about it, that they are doing these things not necessarily for like every moment of their life is filled with fear that they might go to hell, but like that's what their trajectory in life, that's what's motivating them, as opposed to, as you said, the people who are more fleshed out or thought about these things. Would you still say that those people are better people morally than somebody who may not be religious at all, and yet still are somehow, even though they don't have some objective grounding, are they still capable of being moral actors and live a quote unquote good life?
No, I wouldn't say that. I would think the latter is preferable.
Okay,
but I want people to believe in God.
I understand. Well, I appreciate that.
The same thing. They're two people that want to do good just because it's the right thing to do, not because they're afraid of being burned or because they're afraid of being arrested.
Well, no, in Testy's example, the first one is low-key afraid of being burned. In Testy's example.
Yeah.
And he's comparing that to an atheist who is just trying to do good.
And I'm not trying to make a caricature of Christians, because I think that most people, like I agree with Confluence, don't think in those terms. They don't think that, oh, well, this is going to be good for my heavenly reward, or this is going to be bad because I might be punished. Like, I don't think they put it through like a very explicit lens, but it's maybe more of a broad view of things that might, that might.
I don't know if I'm oversimplifying.
It tends to be phrased with gratitude. You do things you think others would be grateful for. You are grateful for things.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just, what I'm saying is I'm oversimplifying, but
I'm not listening to a diabetic guy in a Burger King hat about religious morality. This is insane.
It's a good point.
I would not. If this guy started a cult, I would be the first fucking member. Are you fucking kidding me?
Bro, the
unironic aura that Bradley has right now is
he looks like Jack Black if he never got his break in Hollywood.
It's not a good trait to follow those who have good aura.
Also, I didn't mean to. That is a cool arch, by the way, the dude. I know you were very proud of showing us that, so I wanted to,
I just thought it'd be cool for everyone to see something live that's probably one of the 50 biggest landmarks.
I've
never even heard of it. I'm going to be honest with you.
It is impressive.
You've never heard of the St. Louis Arch Confluence?
No.
Yeah, what kind of American are you? Even I've heard of it.
It's fucking Missouri, man. It's fucking Missouri.
I remember when St. Louis had a team, and you could see the arch in the stadium.
I'm sorry to say,
the Cardinal Stadium down the street.
As the Burger King, I oppose to all arches.
That's
my God.
That's base.
That's pretty funny.
That does make sense, yeah.
Everything explains itself.
Confluence, you've really never heard of the St. Louis Arch?
No, I actually never have.
One and a half of a McDonald's side.
So I think I just figured something out about Confluence. You're like, I'm pretty well read on a variety of things. You're like hyper focused on like several things. You are.
Oh yeah. Oh for sure. Yeah, for sure. Bro, I don't know how like basic things work, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's like basic things in life that I'm like, I don't know how this works. I just accept
Remote
it.
Controllers.
Could you start a lawnmower?
Magnets. How the fuck do they work?
Yes, but not if it needed any level of like repairing or anything. That's the thing. Yeah.
Have you ever changed tires on a car?
I have, but it's been so long that I think I could do it. I think I could.
Do you know anything
It's
about
so
dinosaurs?
good.
Do you know anything
It's been
about
a long
dinosaurs,
time.
Confluence?
I mean, it depends on what level we're talking. I mean, I know some things about dinosaurs. My
I know
favorite
plenty about the
dinosaur is
Logopus.
the guy with that big spine on his back that he uses for cooling. That guy's based as fuck. Holy
Oh
shit!
yeah, the big lizard thing.
Yeah, with the big giant fan on his back. Fucking love that guy.
Dinosaurs.
Roar is right.
Which dinosaur had the big thick skull that rammed things? It had like the big dome skull that rammed things. Do you know it? Do you
Wasn't
know
that
it? Do you know it?
Ankylosaurus? Is that right?
No, that's
No,
the one.
Ankylosaurus had like the warhammer on his tail.
Big tail. Yeah, no,
It
that's
starts
not.
with a
Oh,
P.
no,
Well, it was like a
that's
like a
yeah.
mace. It was a mace.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Oh,
There were
fuck.
two different ones.
It's called
I know it starts with a P.
But he also
Oh,
the
the
ankle.
ramming
Hold on,
one.
shush.
Pachycephalosaurus.
The
Yeah,
ankylosaurus. The ankylosaurus did have a round, thick skull with horns. So Confluence was actually. I do give him. I do
get
give
partial
Confluence credit.
points.
I give you extra. I give you effort points.
I think it's
It's
called
not.
Gorillapolosaurus, actually.
not.
That's what I
It's
think
not.
it's
It's
called.
the Pachycephalosaurus.
It's a Pachycephalosaurus, guys. It's an
Patchy,
herb
yeah,
eater.
patchy. Yep.
I love to
I
fracture
hate to say
bones.
it, I don't want to be like too Jurassic Park coded, but Velociraptors are kind of low key one of the coolest dinosaurs. Okay,
Yes,
Velociraptors are like three. No,
They were actually smaller than
in the movie. In
fiction.
real
Like
life, they can
modern
open
day
doorknobs.
Confluence. How big are their talons?
Not as big as the movies present. Apparently, Velociraptors were a lot shorter than Jurassic Park.
They were like 3 feet.
Quite
They were
smaller.
3 feet
They're like
tall,
chicken
and they were
size.
feathered.
They're the compies. The compies.
I think that's a psyop.
The compies
I hate
were
when
tiny.
scientists
Those were-
try to
those were-
I mean,
tell
they
us
could still fuck you up,
dinosaurs
but they
had
weren't as big as
feathers.
their.
I hate
Right.
when people say that. That's not true at all.
Velociraptor could still pierce you from stem to stern with a fucking claw. So
Yeah, that's
Get a
that's
chicken.
probably true.
Confluence is right. Look up Utah Raptor.
Utah Raptors, they're the big ones.
They're gonna make dinosaurs.
Hostel has a good point. Dinosaur research
That's
accelerates
slow
autism in children. That's true. That's low key true. That's facts.
I
You gotta
was
be
a
careful
dinosaur
introducing
fucking addict.
kids to dinosaurs at a young age,
Play
man.
as a fucking dinosaur. It's a great game.
You want to talk about dinosaurs and conspiracies? Here's an alien conspiracy. Why are all the dinosaur bones radioactive? And they had to put special coating on it to put it in fucking museums because they're fucking radioactive.
Oh, interesting. I heard that dinosaurs are a
That's
psyop
not actually true. So
because the first museum was
Okay.
built by like.
For bonus points, who can tell me the metric by which we measure who can tell us what we measure radioactivity in? What's the unit
Dr.
called?
Stukio Olusius said that it was true.
Yeah,
What's
no,
the-
I wouldn't trust
Ancient
that.
aliens, Dr.
It's called
Stukio.
Geiger grams.
It's not a gigometer. We measure it in sunshine units.
It's a gaygometer.
Your mom.
Real thing. They're called
Rads.
sunshine
Photons.
units. That's still gay. What a gay thing
No, they're
to.
called rads.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
rads.
They
I
do-
thought
no,
were
they
actually
measure-
called sunshine units.
It's exposure of sunshine of like radiation from the sun per X amount of seconds.
No,
or
sunshine
whatever.
units is how they nerf the term to make it more palatable to people. Like instead of saying, "Hey, Chernobyl has 34 rads of radioactivity," it's sunshine units. It was a
Yeah,
euphemism.
It's like standing in the sun for 62,000 years. That's not
I-
exactly.
I'm talking about the motivation behind it, you autistic weirdo.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying that
Yeah,
doesn't
get
seem very
wrecked,
like
Alex.
palatable
Now
to
we're
me.
getting personal. Oh my goodness.
A very
Hey,
high
hey,
percentage of
speaking of
autistic
the
people
sun.
become doctors,
Someone's
right?
like, hey, it's like 34 rads. I'm
These
like,
doctors
oh,
are the
okay.
ones that do the experiments and stuff to make autism vaccines. So
This
wouldn't it
Burger
really
King
be
guy
that
looks like
autism
fucking Jack
causes
Black.
There's no such
vaccines?
thing
Had
as an
anal
autism
sex with
vaccine. What do
Jonah
you mean?
Hill, and Seth Rogen was in the corner gooning, and this guy came out. You're like the
How do
worst
you
part of
think-
I
three
like to
major
enjoy it.
booters.
Valid.
How do you think that we found out that by staring at the sun you can go blind? Do you
From
think
the
that
first
we
person to stare at the
learned that
sun.
by using mathematics and science, or do you think because somebody stared at it too long?
Let me tell you why Jewish. Let me
Yeah,
tell you why
someone
Jewish
play
culture
tested that,
sucks.
Pat.
Not to do it.
I hate that people think you can't stare at the sun because of the brightness. It's because it's too beautiful. That's the real reason why you can't stare at the sun.
That's why Confluence can't stare at Maryland.
It's because of the radiation.
Your head
That's
would
why I wear my
melt.
glasses. I'm always expecting Mara to come on the panel because I don't want to be fucking blinded by her brilliance. Low key. Low key.
wrapped up with your douche, and then I put it in my ass.
Classic. That's a classic track.
Thank you.
I've heard some dumb shit since I was on mute here. God damn.
Blinded by... I got that stuck in my head now.
Yeah.
Exactly, Kokomo. Exactly. You are all beautiful, okay? All of you, except Bradley. No, I'm just kidding, Bradley. You're beautiful too in your own special way.
I'm the most
In the
I'm the
bless
most
your heart
beautiful.
kind of
I
way.
would still join your cult, Bradley, in a second.
I'm
Absolutely. Don't threaten
I'm
me with a good
objectively
time.
the best looking guy on panel.
You,
I'm
Objectively.
That might
the
be
least
true.
best
I haven't
looking
seen
guy on the
Alex.
panel.
you should see what's
Yeah,
under
we have
the
an Alex.
crown.
Alex could be like a chiseled, just fucking 10 out of 10 Giga
No,
Chad.
I'm like skeletal. My
He is
eyes
like
are so
Eastern
sunken in, you
European,
can't
so-
even see them.
Shit,
I
you
have
probably
the genitals of a Pikachu.
That is
I
what
usually
your
have to
bros
wear like a
so.
cowl over my head so people don't.
Do you carry like a
See my
scythe
face.
around?
Are you looking for Harry?
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
Well, that comes with the territory.
Yes, it
Hey, no
does.
judgment.
Alex, I painted that mask.
Hey,
yeah?
hey, I'm gonna Pokemon.
Yeah, I painted it more than I had painted it before.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
Dude,
go
nice.
on cam and show you guys.
Yeah, please.
Oh my.
That does look pretty cool.
No, that's badass.
Now, if you were at an Antifa rally, you'd fucking slay section. Holy shit.
Especially if you
All
brought
those
a
Yeah,
trans
probably.
logos would
katana
be
with
all
you.
over you.
As long
Yeah,
as
but
you have
I have a
with
katana,
you,
hold
you'll
on.
slay for damn sure.
How
Wait,
do you
hold
get
on.
a penis past the fangs?
Bradley and Sam Hyde
Yo,
with the
You
I'm
don't.
gonna use
This
a
mask wasn't made for you,
lazy mask,
Bradley.
okay?
How
I
long
use
it
a
took you to
lazy
do
tattoo
that?
mask.
My bad.
I painted it today. I printed it out. It took about
With your
6-7 hours, and then
Oh,
I
yeah,
just
that
painted it
was-
today.
That looks sick, dude. That looks super sick.
Oh, there's your
Is that a
Oh, the
Hattori?
katana.
Is that a Hattori Hanzo sword?
Yeah,
used to
reverse
date a
blade.
girl named Katana.
Uh,
What was that?
Who's
Hey, Bradley, on a serious note, how successful are you at not getting laid, Bradley?
Sounds like happiness.
How
Wow.
successful are you at not getting laid, Bradley? The chat wants to know.
Bradley has a girlfriend. Well, he used to. I don't
No,
know.
you can't
Bradley,
have
do you
it.
still have a girlfriend?
He did have someone's female legs on
One
screen.
time I
we
was
saw
turned down.
foot.
One time I was turned down by a Japanese man, so probably not good.
Bradley, how do we
So-
get you in the gym to chatify you? What do we have to do?
The dude.
In gym,
What?
The question is, how
Just
many
give me his
women have you
number.
ruined to the point where they never want to see a man again?
Who, me?
True question.
Oh my God. I think you need like fucking quantum computing to get to a number that high. 2011.
I was a lesbian.
Lord.
I hooked up with a chick, and she.
See, we
still
were
couldn't
talking
tell.
about how doing nothing is worse than doing things, but I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe
sometimes
doing
doing-
nothing is better for some people. If you think about it,
It just depends on the circumstance, right?
it does. Like, yeah, if Jeffrey Dahmer did nothing, that probably would be an improvement, right? You can. There is a point where it's like you shouldn't have tried. You shouldn't have.
Was
So
that
so
doctor?
here's how you deal with. You guys were talking about this earlier, and I didn't get a chance to weigh in. How you deal with the Hitler baby thing, right? You become his best friend, and the moment he does his first thing, you just execute him.
No, you don't have to kill anyone. You don't.
Yeah,
you
you do.
can just give him to someone else. If he
Nope.
would, you just like the butterfly effect.
Nope.
I'm sorry, I'm being too serious, but it's the butterfly
Nope.
effect. All you have to do.
Here's the
is
problem:
give
if you
him to
kill him
you have a completely
or
different
change
life.
him, someone else might take his place. But if you allow him to be the one, and then you kill him before he does all the bad things,
Then no one's gonna take his place. What? How does that
Correct.
logic
Yeah,
check out?
Yeah.
I feel like
Head off the
Bradley's
snake,
blood
buddy.
type
Head
is
off the
ranch.
snake.
Then you're saying that it's fate, that it's going to happen regardless. Whatever you do, you kill this Hitler, another Hitler.
Well, hold
It's-
on. What if
Somebody's
you,
going to kill the Jews. You're
Hold
saying
on,
that
hold
it's
on, hold
just fate that
what if
someone
you
at
save this
sometime
guy,
is going to kill the
but you
Jews?
doom someone else to become him? What then?
Are you saying
fault
that
is that,
God?
Bradley? Whose
it was-
fault is that?
Oh my God! Is it?
Yours.
Is it a plan?
You guys think
It's
Hitler
yours.
in his life? Do you guys think
Million
Hitler
dudes
knew
slaughtered?
he would have the impact that he did? That he would be like the de facto, like when
No,
people are making
fuck
an argument,
no.
they want to talk like the worst guy ever.
Nobody knows they're becoming that.
Why
would Hitler
was it,
be
though,
happy that
so
he's like
many
talked
people
about so
said-
much, or would he be like unhappy?
How come there was so many people?
My guess
that
is
said,
he'd be
"Yeah, that's a
unhappy
good
with the
idea."
fact that his country hates him.
They do hate
On
him.
that much meth, happy becomes a very loose term.
Especially without the internet. How could it be that there was so many people that said, "Yeah, that's a good idea"? These people are fucked up. They're animals.
It's
We need
because
to
they
eradicate-
started.
How
They
could that
started in
happen?
dude. They started in a good place. That's why. It was.
They
fun to
almost
start
finished
with.
in a good place. Hitler just had no perseverance.
He couldn't paint.
Sure.
I have to hit you with the disavow.
He was a terrible painter. Although I think his paintings are officially
He
more
was-
popular than he is.
He was
Well,
a
yeah.
fine painter.
Huh.
He wasn't anything special, but he was better than I could probably.
What if he
saying-
became? What if he became a famous?
Stick figures
What
is
if he
not good
became a
painting.
fitness influencer and changed his name to Adolf Lifter?
No one here could afford any of his paintings, so I guess he was a good painter. But
Yeah.
Well, that's
No.
true.
But his
Yeah,
paintings,
that's
you
low
can make a
true.
goddamn
Famous,
stick figure,
yeah.
and if you kill 7,000 million people, then yes, that's going to be worth something.
7
Are you a
billion
Jew, Bradley?
7 billion people? Who would kill 7
I
billion
wish
people?
I was a Jew. The dude.
Bradley, are you a Jew?
I'm half Jew.
Who's Jewish?
Makes
Your mother or your
sense.
father?
My great mother.
I don't think
That
that makes
counts,
you
you're
half
Jewish.
Jewish. I don't think it makes you half Jewish though, if you think
What?
about it.
If
No.
the Jewish was on your mom's side, you're Jewish.
My third cousin one time sneezed and he got circumcised.
Does that? Do you think like this edgy liberal hipster comedy is funny?
Yeah.
I think Bradley is very funny.
No.
Here's
the funny thing.
attacking Big
I'm
Soda,
not
which is
doing
very
anything. I'm just
untoward.
being silly.
I think Bradley is funny when he's not trying to like write a punch. The punchline's terrible. He's a funny guy. You're 100%. He's very entertaining.
I'm a funny guy. I'm just being silly. No, I'm just trying to have a good time. That's all that matters.
Well, you just had stolen Jewish valor. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Jewish valor. That's what I have. Okay, that's the accusation to be labeled against me.
But I have a barcode on my ass, and that's not because I'm fat.
Did they have to scan you into being or something, or what?
How do you pick up a hot
Actually,
I've
Jewish
never
girl?
seen
Hold on.
someone rock
What poor
a Burger King
bastard
crown
had
better
to-
than
had a
Bradley. I didn't
With
know
the
that was
Reuben Gus
possible.
pan?
Hold on, what poor bastard had to put a barcode on your ass?
A Nazi?
Oh,
Guys,
okay,
I'm finding all
that's
of
fine
these
then.
Holocaust jokes very offensive. My
you have to pay
granddad
him,
died in the
though?
Holocaust.
He fell from the
In the
guard
Holly.
tower.
I'm sorry.
Actually, no.
And frankly,
Someone
this
fell on
conversation
him.
needs to end. It's a little out of my comfort zone. I'd appreciate it.
Comfort zone. That's perfect.
I don't think anyone even made a Holocaust joke, to be honest. Okay, we're just making.
How
What do you
Asian
call a
jokes.
Jewish Pokemon trainer?
Now
Come on.
you're gonna make a
Ash!
Holocaust joke. Yeah,
actually-
see, I
Sorry.
knew it. I actually find those untoward. I actually
That is-
do.
that
Okay.
was really
Adolf
untoward,
killed
actually.
himself when he saw how much the gas bill was. He said, "How much did it Holocaust?"
No more. No
Oh,
more.
that's my
that's
joke.
No more.
kind of funny, but no, untoward.
Holocaust a lot.
Untoward.
Why'd the elephant paint its balls red?
We're not. Better not be a Holocaust
To
joke.
hide in the cherry tree.
Actually, hold on. Does anybody know
I don't
the
even know what that
etymology of the
means.
word Holocaust? Where did that come
How
from?
Tarzan died.
Oh, I do, Alex. Don't threaten me with a good time. It means whole burning. That's what it means. That's the etymology.
Whole
I
burn.
know,
Cherry.
Hola
okay,
means
okay.
whole and
But,
cost, like from the word of
why?
caustic.
Who,
Because
who
they were.
used it? Did,
Oh, I
did
don't- yeah,
the
I don't know.
Germans use it, or did the Jews use it?
No, the Germans
Who-
definitely didn't
who
use it.
named it that? Is I guess what I'm wondering.
It was definitely after World War II. I know that for sure.
I shall call this
But-
the Holocaust.
A
So somebody probably wrote a
thousand-jähriges
book.
Reich.
Yeah, it's like it's a Latin formation, but I don't know who first came up with it.
Interesting.
Do you know kamikaze means divine wind?
I thought you were about to say
Cool.
comma, camellia.
It's like when God breaks wind, and then you have
Yeah,
to
do you
divine
smell
take
the
your own.
divine
You have to
wind?
take your own
Oh.
self out.
Ah, he who smelt it dealt the divine wind.
He who smells it must end it.
Oh, fucking
Yeah, see? Burgess is like low key Doomrang, where Burgess I feel like gets everything I say the same way Doomrang does. Okay, I encounter these random chatters sometimes that just like understand me. Okay,
I think Confluence low key is simping for Grace through Ben.
I think so too.
Oh, what have I simped for grace?
True.
What?
It's so true.
It's more in the nonverbal.
did say
I can tell that you're trying.
I did say that.
Shut up, feminine boy. I'm trying to explain what you're doing here. Shut up.
Look, shut up. You want to be Jewish boy? I don't know what to say.
It's the nonverbal and how much of a sycophant you are over Ben. I can tell that you are trying to groom Grace through Ben while not letting Marilyn know.
Calm down.
To be
Confluence
fair, he
isn't grooming
actually has
anybody.
been like reasonably not a dumbass last 2 times. I've seen him.
Ben's been on his best behavior for sure.
I think his YouTube caricature is a skill and a scumbag, but I think that's just a caricature.
Oh,
like he's a pretty well-read, smart. I actually find him fascinating.
Some of his opinions are fucking atrocious, but
yes,
maybe most of his.
This is like what I'm saying is I think those are provocateur. Those are provocative in nature. Like they're meant to be incendiary. I don't think he actually believes them.
I don't
know about all of them. I don't know about all of them.
To excuse people by calling them provocateurs. Okay, I refuse to excuse that kind of bullshit. Like,
and I've only seen a photo of Marilyn, but Marilyn's more attractive than Grace from the limited time I've seen Marilyn.
That's probably true, actually.
Like just objectively.
Yeah, this is what I said, Ag. I mean, whole burning would be the, but yeah, you could put it into better words, obviously.
What does it mean?
Whole burning.
The Holocaust. Ag is saying completely burnt, but yeah.
It's a reference to a couple different languages for burnt offering.
How much would a Holocaust?
I guess caustic.
Set like Grace up with Emmett. Yeah, caustic is just like a suffix added to the cost, which is like a Latin root for burn or whatever. Burns hole.
So a caustic agent is something that burns.
Yeah,
gotcha. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
You ever see the picture of all them shoes?
Like cauterize.
And I think holla. I think holla is like same with like hologram, which I think means like whole letter or whole writing, like a hologram. Like the whole letter is being written. I think that's the etymology of that.
Do you think genocide came from like the homicide of a generation?
No,
it did. It did indeed. Gen meaning to produce or create, and side meaning to kill in Latin. Yes,
I was just
the killing of the production, which is where we get the word gene from.
Interesting. Genocide.
Look at me. I be doing etymology and shit.
Yeah, you be doing etymology.
Oh, shit.
You was kangs and shit.
We was
shit.
You collect bugs? That's fucking dope.
You want to know something really tough for me in my real life confluence and section and soda and out? Like this is legit. Do you know where I struggle in my real life away from YouTube?
Tell me, brother.
Tell us.
Probably generally.
Not generally. Like with the gym bros and like the alpha guys, I'm too much of a nerd. And then for all my buddies that are, let's just call them like, higher intellect, like I don't fit their bubble, and I for some reason people have a hard time accepting me in my totality, and I wish that I could do something different where it caused me less strife.
Have you considered looking up what alphas are?
When I say alpha, I'm talking about like the gay, like the gym bros, like the roughneck guys. I'm speaking in like Gen.
You're too smart to be a meat suit.
Right.
You're too
That's where
sooty to be a nerd.
Right. That's where I'm. It creates conflict. It always takes a long time for me to become friends with anybody. They're like, you don't make sense in my mind. That's what they tell me. Like, you don't make sense.
One thing that might help is if you made it clear sometimes when you're being nerdy that you're not doing the funny guy crap, right?
Can you elaborate on that?
Like yeah. let's say we talk about something that's really nerdy and you're like, oh, holy shit, I love that. No one's gonna think you mean it. We're all gonna think that you're
Dungeons and dildos,
right? Because the way you normally say things, when you say that, it sounds like you're being sarcastic because it doesn't fit you very well. But if you then engage with that conversation, then it changes people's like mindset about how you feel about certain things. But yeah, the problem is your feet are way too wide apart. So it doesn't seem like you seem like
Your
two
eyes
different
are too
people.
wide apart.
You're telling
Hey,
a
don't
story
give
just by
confluence a
being
boner.
you and setting audience expectations.
True, Alex.
Huh.
Yeah, but we accept you, man. We love you. You're good.
No, I love this show. I'm just telling you, like, in my real world, it's
Yeah.
like specifically people that I meet in work. It's like the blue collar guys. We get along and we connect, but they're like something here just doesn't necessarily integrate with like our subculture. And then I'll meet some nerdy people and like, hey, like he's cool to have around, but like something here doesn't fit. And I know what it feels like to be a Jew, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That is absolutely true.
It's not true,
Honestly,
Jew.
my experience, you just don't have friends.
That's just be dangerously antisocial all the time.
There you go. Yeah.
Have you considered acting normal?
I mean, you can only act for so long, and what's normal
Nobody
means
will
that you
ever
have to
know.
like bring yourself
Tell that
down
to
to the level
Daniel
of these idiots who
Day-Lewis.
can only function on one side of the goddamn line.
Tell that to Daniel Day-Lewis.
I did.
Daniel Day-Lewis,
agreed.
more like it.
He agreed.
Daniel Knight-Lewis.
I told him, and he said yes.
Yeah, even back in high school.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
You had a milkshake, and
Even back in high school when I played sports, fellas, like this has been my lot for my whole life.
I drink your milkshake.
I drank your face.
Go ahead.
And
Yeah,
you
that
guys
sucks,
are.
Jim.
I like that. The tool was stop being what was it? Don't have friends was one option. That was one option.
Yep, it's a good option. It works really well.
I'm gonna come to your house in the middle of the night.
Just act normal and no one will ever know.
But people will know. They always know.
No,
I think the dude. If I was to be encouraging, I don't know if you want my opinion, but
I would love to hear your feminine opinion. Go.
Okay, my feminine opinion is that I think
a girl would
it's
be helpful
harder
here.
if you are the more I think of because you're saying that you have this this confluence, if you will, and you must of these
A
two worlds.
dichotomy of his nature.
And I
Dichotomy
think
of
if you
nature.
once you meet people that I think do connect, or maybe you already have, like if you have like close friends, they probably like do meet you on that level, and I think that is like the closest friends you can have.
Oh,
Right,
yeah,
so-
well, I've got a couple of different friends for like the different parts of, which is amazing. That's not a complaint. Like I'm very, very lucky. I've got some of the best friends in the world. I'm just saying, like, first, I don't make the best first impressions. For some reason, I seem to make people uneasy, and I wish I knew why.
You're boisterous. You're very loud and
I
boisterous.
feel very hard
Yeah,
right
you
now.
are.
Your
Yeah,
voice. Your voice.
to that, you are very
sound kind of
boisterous.
like a gym bro.
Dude, I'm
A
telling
good
you,
first
make me
impression
uneasy.
is the
You know why
You
you
never
make me
make a good
uneasy?
first
Because I'm
impression.
so hard right now.
In the
first
event
three
of an
times you
erection
make an
lasting
impression,
longer
You
than
look like a
don't
Lich
make a
King
bad
now.
one.
I don't know what
then you
happened to
made a
you.
good impression.
I would not join that cult.
Well, I just wanted to share a little bit of vulnerability, and I was picked on. I would never be mean to anybody on this panel. I hate you.
Yeah, you would never do that. You would never. I gave
I
you
wouldn't.
real
Nobody
thoughts.
believes
I gave
a
you real
word you
thoughts.
just said. Instantly, we all feel like you're lying.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
What are you lying? What are you lying about? Are you hiding something? Go.
Yes,
You sound like the type of guy that doesn't have feelings. You know.
I have feelings in my butthole.
I sound like
That's
the type
true.
of guy that doesn't have feelings.
Prove it.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes.
Prove it.
Okay, I'll prove
Cry.
it.
Cry for us to do to prove that you have feelings.
I think they're talking about proving the butthole thing.
Do you want me to like sing Sophie B.
Oh.
Hawkins and like express myself through
You
the
don't
back
want.
of the song?
No. It's not about proving. It's just it's the way you sound, it's the way you talk, and it's in your voice.
Dear God, are you
know?
listening? It's me, my butthole.
Actually, do you know what your voice sounds like?
I
Yes.
have no idea what my voice sounds like.
Dude.
You should listen to one of these streams when you're after you're done, after he's like if he finally has one, he doesn't just delete up front.
I haven't deleted one in like 2 days.
My
Okay.
voice sounds like the taste of
Oh,
strawberries.
is that all? Only 2 days?
It might only be one day.
So
actually. I'm not sure.
if you do that, right, listen to your voice and how you sound when you say certain things.
Listen to
'Cause I
the
can
sound
promise
of
you,
my voice.
you do not sound the way you think you sound when you talk.
That's true. Listen to
Ooh.
yesterday's stream when you were talking with Jacob and everybody. Listen to that.
Or listen to the people who said that I'm super feminine.
Well, that's all hyperbole. Like none of that's. I mean, yes, some of you guys are feminine from time to time, but it's not a sincere.
No, my voice.
You're
voice
not
is
a
feminine.
woman?
I'm female adjacent.
Not you.
I'm adjacent in females. Yeah.
Why, do
Technically, all men are half
I have
women.
an unpleasant voice?
You know that I'm not
you
a
don't at all.
female. I have a crown.
Oh, do I have an unpleasant voice, Alex or
No.
Confluence?
Yes.
No, it's
You
not
definitely
unpleasant at
speak
all.
from the diaphragm, and that's gonna push people away. That's called a
Yeah.
command voice.
It sounds like someone with
You're
emphysema.
projecting really well, like you would
Ew.
do well in an amphitheater.
Emphysema drinking a Zima.
Wow.
No, you do
You're
not.
with a
have-
girl from Impanema. Coming back from
Bradley
Iwo
tight as
Jima.
shit, ain't he?
No,
You
you
went too
went.
far now.
Catching
It's too
AIDS from
long.
Charlie Sheena.
No, that's too long now. It's too far.
It's not too far.
Paying
It's
$5.50 for gasolina.
too wordy.
Well, I tried to do a character assessment with the fellas on panel, but you guys just rejected me in my vulnerability. Someone said I have
I gave
emphysema.
you honest thoughts. I gave
What
you honest
about-
thought.
Nobody trusts you,
Vulnerability.
though. Nobody trusts you. That's a problem.
What's your vulnerability?
Bucket
Yes.
button.
How
Good to
do
see
we kill
you. The guy complaining about tone. Wait, which one is that?
Oh man,
Me?
It could be.
hurt in my eyes.
I don't know. Yeah, it could be seen as Seth. I guess I'm not sure. But
I'm
there
not
actually, I think, is no atheist on the panel. Well, Seth is like basically an atheist, like Loki.
He
but,
is not basically. He
but-
is.
Yeah, but so it's Seth.
Jesus
Sorry, Seth.
is God. God is real.
Did
It's
Jesus
just
rise
we have
from the
different
dead?
Oh, hold on.
expectations.
Did
He's
Jesus
either-
rise from the dead? Yes or no? I don't think you can be a Christian.
Yes.
At least say Jesus rose from the dead in like a spiritual way or something. At least do that. But if you're saying that Jesus didn't rise from the dead at all in any way, then
And then you're like, it's
why
just
even
not
say
relevant
Christian?
to the truth of the Bible or to the truth of the message. It's like, okay.
The authenticity of Jesus' message is not dependent upon God's intervention.
Seth, can I ask you a
Because
sincere
Jesus
question?
is
I'm
God,
not.
right?
I want to ask you a sincere question. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm not trying to do a gotcha. This is actually sincere. Have you read like the New Testament apart from the Gospels?
I'll be right back, guys. I'm getting a snack.
Like,
Okay, what are you getting? Is it popcorn? I want smoke.
It should be an
some of
easy
it,
answer.
like
Either you have
Revelations,
or you
I
haven't.
reject wholesale.
Wait, say again, Seth.
Some of it, like Revelations, I reject wholesale.
That's not what I asked.
That's not what
I'm
he
saying,
asked.
have you read the New Testament? Have you read Romans, Corinthians, Ephesians, the other 20
Yeah.
whatever books?
Yeah,
Have
not
you read
cover to
those?
cover.
Okay. Because I would say, like, if you're denying, like, there's almost the entirety,
law.
I would say, of the New Testament after the Gospels constantly punts back to the resurrection and death of Christ. Like, constantly. That's
I'm
the
not
whole
denying
in
it. I'm
every
just not
single
making
epistle.
an assumption about it.
I know, but I just don't know, like, what form of Christianity do you have if you're like rejecting, or not, I guess not rejecting, but you would have to look at like all the New
Reducing.
Testament and be like, all of this stuff is because Paul specifically says that if Christ didn't rise, we're still dead in our sins and our faith is worthless. Like, that's what Paul says. And and that's repeated in various points in different ways.
Paul's a piece of shit.
Paul was based, okay? Paul was based.
Yeah. Homo.
And so I guess I just don't know. Yeah, I don't know how you would see the rest of, and I don't know how much when you say you read a
Christ
bit.
is alive every time we talk about it, right? Like that's in the Bible. He's
Like
with
Freddy
us here
Krueger?
right now because we are sharing the message.
No, not because we're talking. That not in the same way that like Mozart
He
is
the
alive because we're
message,
talking
right?
about
That was the
Mozart.
Freddy
demonstration.
Krueger.
No.
You
When
can't
Christ
separate the
says, when
man
Christ,
from the
no,
message.
this is so cocked. When Christ says like, where there are like 2 or 3 of you, there I am. He means like we are the body of Christ. We're the embodied presence because Christ lives in us. Because if we died to Christ, we are risen with Christ. It's not just saying like, hey, if you guys talk about me
the
and remember
miracles
me
don't
in the same
affect the
way we
truth of
talked
that.
about Hitler, then Hitler is with us. No, that's not what that means. That's crazy.
I hope
That's
not.
crazy.
I don't need God to demonstrate phenomenologically that I should be listening in that moment when the truth is persistent, constant, and all around us.
Yes, and is the word truth?
Yeah. Jesus
Okay, and
lived
in the
the
word it says that Jesus was resurrected, so therefore it is truth.
If the word is resurrected, Jesus is resurrected. You cannot separate them.
Sure, and the word is truth, so the resurrection
Well,
is truth.
Yeah.
What do we? What?
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
Seth. When you hear word, are you thinking like logos, as in like Christ, or are you thinking like the scriptures? Like what are? Because you are saying that
I'm
you're like
thinking-
super ambivalent on basically the entire Bible, like basically except like the Jeffersonian aspect of like just pulling out like the red letters of what like Jesus said. Everything
The
else, you're
point
kind of
of
like,
the
hey,
Bible
who the fuck knows? Who the fuck cares? Even.
Preserve the message, right? That is quantum physics. That is information at work.
What's the message though? To me, looking at like the totality, especially of the New Testament, the message is that Christ has died and risen and lives through us and established his church. That's the message. The message isn't like, hey, Jesus said some really good moral points if you think about it. That's not the fucking message. That's not Christianity.
Frame it as a command. Frame it as a command. What did Jesus command of us?
To shit in
I mean,
toilet.
a lot of things: to love God, to love each other, to sin no more,
Yeah.
right?
Take that shit.
To believe in him, that he was the only path to the Father. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know what you're.
And all of this is vital, right? The
Peter
reason the
Parker.
miracles are is so we are drawn to this because God knows that we won't be interested in it. We don't have the alignment naturally. We deviate from the truth.
Right, but okay, like I get if you're talking like I think if I'm trying to like grant an olive branch here, I understand what you mean if you're talking about like Jesus walking on water. I think those are miracles to prove his message, to prove what's happening. But if we're talking about like the resurrection, that's like the cornerstone of Christianity, right? That's like we are new creations because of the death and the resurrection. That's not just like a fun story. That's not just like, hey, I'm proving my validity. That's like this is Christian. That's what Christianity means, right? Is that Christ has died and now lives through us and lives through the church, and that this is a real spiritual truth that's happening. It's not a metaphor. It's not good teaching. It's like far beyond that.
Soul.
Right, but through an active, not just from knowing good morals, but from actually having like the embodied like spirit of God living inside of us.
How do you do
It's not just
and
not
doing
learn,
it
no,
to
not
align
learning,
with
like not
God,
learning. You're
truth.
not learning. Absolutely not learning. Disavow
You can't
that.
just
Disavow
know
that.
it. We don't have that
Confidence, how do you
privilege.
do
We
that?
have to learn it. It is
How do you have the
important,
spirit
vitally
inside of
important.
you?
Do what?
I want to know, how do you have the spirit inside? How do you do that? It seems
It
like a
was
lot more
breathed
than just
into us.
believing. What he's saying sounds like a
It
lot more
wasn't
than just
just
believing.
we
I
weren't
don't
just
think it's- I don't think
created
it's-
with the spirit.
I don't think
God
by
breathed
belief,
the
I don't think it's
spirit
just an
into us.
assent.
There is a process to it.
Yes, I think it's accepting Christ and wanting to live in Christ, accepting his resurrection and trying to let the spirit of Christ live through you and sanctify you. I don't think it's just believing. What?
You seem like you have to do like actions. What you're saying?
I'm not
is
just
more
believing, faith
than
learned.
I think I think actions are important, but in my, and I'm a Protestant, so take what I say with a grain of salt. But I think if this is the problem, I guess, of what I have with kind of what Seth is saying is I think we can't deny the spiritual function, I think, of people. You have an internal process, Bradley. Everyone does. And by you accepting something into your heart, You're doing. We're using words to describe something ineffable, but you're doing something legitimately. Like when you try to accept God to the best of your ability, you're not just like doing a belief thing. You are doing an action, but it's like an internal action. Like it's there's like some soul changing thing. And it's hard to describe because it's not just like, I wouldn't say it's just go to church, go help the poor. It's something like on your internal level that I think is a transformative thing. And to accept that, you have to accept that there is some type of spiritual, I guess, component or soulical component of us, right?
Well, it seemed like what you're saying is one person, like me, just saying I believe in God and I want to live good because I believe. But that's an action on the. That's not an action because that's just me deciding to do something. I'm talking about like somebody going out like now I have to go and do good. I have to help somebody and do something.
I hear what you're saying. I would say those are outpourings of the previous thing. So if you just tried to, this is, I think, when the Bible talks about like dead works, I think if you just like, let's say you skip the step that I described and you're like, hey, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go and help. You might lead like a morally good life. You might help people. But I think the proper thing is, I think if you're accepting God, whatever that means to you, right? And you're trying to be transformed, there will be an outpouring of actions because through that, you will hopefully want to help the world. You will want to help other people. So that's going to come naturally. It's not that the actions are like what is like fixing you. It's that by transforming yourself and fixing yourself, you will want to transform other people in the world, I guess is what I think.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's just a side effect of wanting to be good. You're going to go out and do good actions.
Yeah.
By aligning with the truth, by aligning with God, you're going to want to do what God wants you to do.
I mean, so part of the problem is it depends what you think religion is for. Some people think religion is just about motivating people to do ethical behavior. But the problem with that is that most religions, especially when you're talking about the Abrahamic religions, have metaphysical or ontological commitments that you have to make.
Not just that, but there's logistical commitments that is the purpose of the writing, storing the law and the genealogy.
Can I bring something up just real quick if you want to go on this real quick? I've heard that there are people, and I've heard people say this, that they will go to church because they feel that it will redeem them from all the bad things they had just recently done. Like they go out and do bad things, and they think going to church, I go to church, it's just whoop, press the reset button, whoop, press the reset button. What do you think about that?
I think that's some gay shit, personally. I mean, I think it's good. I think if you're sincerely like trying to just be better and try to like fix your life, I would never say that's bad. But yeah, I don't think the idea that just you could do a bad action and like just like fix it by going to church and then I think the whole thing I think about the gospel is you can't separate the gospel, I think, from transformation. I think even Seth would agree with me, even though he's low-key an atheist. Just kidding, Seth. Not really, though. I'm kind of kidding. But yeah, I think even Seth would agree that it has to be transformative. It has to be an indwelling presence. It can't just be like, I'll do this thing and then go to church and do bad stuff again and go. Yeah, I think everyone agrees that's probably gay as fuck.
Yeah. But that's what people think, and it's kind of what we're talking
the
about.
Overlap between reward-seeking behavior and truth-seeking behavior.
Mm-hmm. Shalom.
Shalom, brother.
Shalom.
Did you get my Instagram shit? And that wasn't racist this time.
I almost opened one of them at work and with my volume on, and I was like, that would not have been. They were not racist at all. Some of them were a little spicy.
Woo!
Not something you want playing for a bunch of colleagues. Let's just say that, okay?
Negative.
Oh, hold on. Early Monday, I'll send you some Hitler speeches.
Oh,
I was thinking about this morning, K2, about how much I love the Valentine's Day card that you sent me. I was unironically thinking about it this morning. you know what I'm talking about. That's so good.
I wish I could share a band with you.
I wonder if I could find it. Oh, K2, you sent me so many things. I'll never be able to find it, will I?
What do you guys think about this D&D villain?
So great.
A lich that has made the horn of a live Tarrasque its phylactery.
Oh.
Meh.
Wait, what?
A lich that has made the horn of a live Tarrasque its phylactery.
Oh?
I don't know what you're saying.
What is phylactery?
A lich, it's phylactery. Phylactery. And that thing that it respawns around. I
don't think I know
takes
that
a
word.
Tarrasque. The thing that a lich needs to respawn.
I know.
Right.
Look, I don't know enough about D&D. I'm not going to lie to you, or fantasy in general.
A lich is like a really powerful wizard who's into necromancy, and then he figured out a way to make himself immortal, like Harry Potter style, Voldemort style.
You guys not know what a phylactery is?
Are you sure you're saying that right?
There's no way you don't.
Yeah, it's called a phylactery.
Hey, Confluence, I got a question. When are you going to download a real game? No.
You mean like Silk Song?
No, like Helldivers. Then you can get me, Alex, and then Section, and then whoever else wants to come up and play with your, your fan
that's
base.
3 people. We could have a full squad.
Yeah.
People would actually enjoy it too.
We talked about that after.
Hey, maybe we could
were in
play
the
Among
back.
Us. Okay, how about that?
No.
Yay.
You know what
Bradley
I
will
want
play
for
Among
a
Us with
long
you.
time? I think this would be fucking
You guys
chaos.
can talk
It would
about
be
his
so
sensitive
fun.
butthole.
Is get people together to play Baldur's Gate 3. I think that would be fun.
I will never play that.
I don't know. That sounds a little gay.
Oh, come on.
It doesn't sound
that'd
as
be
cool.
So fun.
It
You
doesn't
say
sound
that
cool
until
like
you see the
Helldivers.
fucking female dwarves.
Still sounds gay. Dwarves are gay.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
Nah. I'm glad we're all in agreement here.
It makes it seem like you just want to fuck a midget.
Look, man,
Yeah, I don't know about the
if
female
dwarves are gay, then this is the gayest I ever been.
Let me ask you this: what do you think is weirder, wanting to have sex with a midget or wanting to have sex with Stephen Hawking?
Stephen Hawking would be weirder.
Yeah,
for sure.
Stephen Hawking.
Wasn't Stephen Hawking also a midget? But yeah, definitely weirder.
Wanting to have sex is gay.
I don't think he.
Just because
he wasn't short, he was disabled.
He had ALS. He wasn't a midget. Stephen Hawking's had ALS. Okay, Luke Erics.
Yeah, he
He's
couldn't
not a
use
midget.
his limbs. He didn't.
Hey, I have to
Does that make you shrink up?
Okay.
This is definitely toss. I would be careful because I don't know
look at that card.
It's
Oh,
worth
man.
it and it's fine. It's fine. This is what K2 sent me on Valentine's Day. 2 couplets from K2.
That's so sweet. That's actually pretty funny.
I fucking love that. I'm not gonna lie. Probably the best thing K2's ever sent me.
The best thing.
You don't risk playing my song.
Out of curiosity, Confluence, have you ever read Don Quixote?
Don
You asked me
Quixote, I
this. You
have.
asked me this already.
I don't remember your answer.
I have not read Don
Don
Quixote.
Quixote.
If you remember, Alex thought you were saying Donkey Quote or something. Alex didn't understand.
Dude, I don't have
breaking the words up wrong.
I don't have the best short-term memory. Like my short-term memory is actually kind of shit.
Well, if you
So
were,
have
this
you
was the
considered
day
not
when I was
doing
in
that?
Silk Song, and we were everyone was mishearing everything that day, and Alex had to rejoin, ask you to repeat what you're saying 7 times before he heard what you're actually asking. But no, I have not read Don Quixote.
Shepherdess.
Yeah, because I was thinking about it recently because I was reading excerpts of it, and it seems like a very fantastical story. It's kind of Christian, if my memory serves me correctly. Wasn't it about some sort of story of redemption? I forgot.
It was Christian based.
I know he fought windmills in a quixotic fashion.
He thought he was
That's
a
what I
knight.
know.
He thought he was a knight, and he went and fought things that he had delusions, and he wound up just slicing wine sacks in an inn and getting beaten up by
Wearing
people
chamber
and
pots on his head.
freeing fucking criminals, and helping a slave, even though he just got beaten even worse after he left. Yeah. But Panze, It was the best character, one of the best characters. Yeah, I listened to the book. I hate to say that I've read a lot of books, but I've listened to them, and it's a very
but if you listen, it's basically the same idea as reading it. It's just in a different format.
Yeah, Sancho Panza. That's who it is.
I don't like people who are like sticklers for like you have to read the book without listening to an audio version. Like I think the information is what counts.
Yeah. Well, there's a difference between just watching a movie and listening to an audiobook. Is the book. It's the book. It's the written out book, and you can hear it, and it's
I'm gonna push back. I think it depends on what audiobook. Because like if I'm reading something that takes a lot of focus, and maybe this is just a me thing, but if I put on an audiobook, I'm less likely to like pause and like go back and like reread. Like if I'm going through some freaking Nietzsche books right now, and it's like there's a lot where I'm like reading the same sentence over and like thinking about it. And with an audiobook, you can kind of trick yourself into being like, oh, well, technically I read all of this Nietzsche book, but like you're kind of just hearing the words, but you're actually like analyzing, going back, reading it again, thinking about it, right? Like audiobooks don't really give you that natural pause like reading text does.
Well, the thing is, what you're saying, and I
It
have
works in different parts of the brain.
So I'll say to you is when I read something, I don't comprehend it right away. So I will have to go back and read it. But when I listen to something, I can hear it and I can understand. I will comprehend it much quicker than if I have to try and read it.
Yeah, I think it depends on what your brain type is. And believe it or not, for some reason when I was young, I used to say I thought it was pronounced Don Quixote or Quixote. Because that's how it's spelled in English.
Yeah,
that's how it's spelled.
Don Quixote. It's Spanish.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's not about learning styles, Keelan. I don't think it's about that. Like I would say, no one can listen, or maybe almost no one could like listen to Kierkegaard and actually just like without going back, just put on an audiobook and just like let it rip and like understand Kierkegaard. I don't think that's like. Maybe for some people, like, but for the vast majority of people, that's not going to happen.
But Kierkegaard and Nietzsche and Aristotle and philosophers in general, when we're talking about philosophy, we're talking about something that's different from like a fiction book. Right? With philosophy, you're actually evaluating arguments. But for fiction,
entertainment
with fiction. Yeah, with fiction, I think I would say it's the same. I think with certain types of nonfiction, I don't think it's the same.
But but that's for nonfiction. But I'm saying, but Don Quixote is fiction.
Do you have any idea how old Don Quixote is? Do you, the guy down there with the Chinese mask? do you know how old Don Quixote is? Can you tell him?
No,
I think he's dead coded.
I don't know the exact. I don't know the exact time frame, but
very, very, very old. And if you actually listen to it or read it, it will talk about shit that will pertain to now and have sayings and shit. I don't know if they translated it differently. Maybe that's the thing, but the things that they're saying are very poignant and very like.
I don't even know what fucking language was it written in.
It's Spanish.
French, probably? Oh, no.
Spanish.
French or Spanish. It's got to be one of those two, yeah.
It's not French. It's Spanish.
But, you know, I actually didn't listen to the audiobook version. I actually did read, like, cover to cover. I remember reading A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking in the visual format, in the regular.
You should burn that book. Crazy. Reading Epstein Island coded books is diabolical, Kirk.
I highly
I don't like Stephen Hawking in general, but I do think he has interesting stuff to say about like black hole information paradox and like cosmology.
Physics is banned on his channel. I like to remind you, Kirk, because of you specifically. Okay, because of you specifically, Kirk.
I think that if you really are into the information, you should both listen to it and read it and actually write it, because the more variations of going over the knowledge, the more likely you are to retain it.
It is it's very entertaining. It's a very good book. I really recommend it.
Yeah, I'll read that. Is it I am curious, am I the only person here who's read that book? Because like I feel like I'm insane. Like am I insane?
I think
for
Bradley
reading
just said he read the book.
No, Stephen Hawking.
I've actually listened. I haven't looked at the words. I've listened to it and it's verbatim. So I mean, I don't know what
I'm talking about. A Brief History of Time.
But I've listened to
that
several
gay shit.
times.
You've listened to that book several times, okay? So what did you think of his
The
stuff
book
on
I'm reading
quantum gravity?
Kirk, you're about
It's
to
called
TOS
Mein
by
Kampf.
talking about physics
I
on the
read 2
channel,
chapters
okay?
before I go to bed.
Hang on a second. He asked me a question. I'd really like to know what he asked.
Wait, I was just asking.
Be a
So you
gay
read?
question.
So you listened to the audiobook version of A Brief History of Time?
No, I haven't listened to that.
Okay, no, you were talking about Don Quixote. Never mind, it was a different book. I was going to ask you about quantum gravity and some things, but Confluence
Thank you all.
would be angry.
I
Hey,
would be
Confluence,
angry. Yes.
The book
What do
I'm
you guys
currently
think
reading.
about hyperbolic language in the Bible?
What hyperbolic language?
Like, let's go to it's either Numbers or Deuteronomy, but they're talking about genocide on the Amalekites or something like that. That there was
The Amalekites, yeah.
Amalekites,
Hey,
and they show back up later
It's in
in
First
the Bible
Samuel.
after. Yeah, and they show back
but
up
they
later in the
didn't
Bible
kill
after
all of
they've
them,
been
though. I mean,
genocided.
that's even in the text that they didn't. That's why Saul got in deep shit, because he didn't complete it. So I don't know if that's necessarily hyperbole. I mean, it's in the text that he didn't slaughter all of them.
Oh, damn. I get them a little confused. I thought they were going to be one of the tribes of Deuteronomy, honestly.
Yeah,
No, this is
the
like
thing with
after.
the Amalekites is my perspective on it is, if my understanding is correctly, the Amalekites were so violent as a culture that that's the reason that God wanted them gone.
Mm.
But
That's
like,
what they say,
what
yeah.
was the context in which they came back?
I don't remember, but he wanted them gone, or God wanted them gone, because of their violent behavior.
Hey, they're like sacrificing babies and all that shit, which is untoward.
Fuck that.
Well, they were
Gordon
doing
Wall.
more than just that.
Well, yeah, probably a lot of bad stuff.
Rage Page gets it. Physics are interesting AF. I agree.
But
the physics of the Amalekites, though,
hyperbolic
is because basically
She's
God
just being
didn't
nice
want
to you.
the Israelites to have to deal with a culture who was sacrificing its own babies and stuff like that.
But, like, barring the specific example, the accuracy of it, how have you guys considered hyperbolic language being included in the Bible?
Hyperbolic.
Like, have you?
I don't think it's there, but everyone else does.
I guess, I guess if you have an example, I'd be
Yeah,
curious
like
to
I think it's
know what
more
you mean.
productive to give an example than to just kind of use this faked in.
The horse's name was Reverse.
Well, it's kind of hard because
Story.
it's
The story.
in the Bible, right? And so we're not going to have a way to prove that it didn't happen exactly as it said it happened.
Well, then how do you know the
But
language is
Elijah-
hyperbolic?
Yeah,
Well, no,
Elisha,
you can,
where
like-
the 2 she-bears came down from the mountain and ripped the 40 kids to shreds.
Yeah, why do you think that's hyperbolic? It gives a precise number that's probably not like unrealistic. It's not like it's like 40 million. It's not like 2 she-bears like killed 40 million people, right?
It was 40 million.
It's like, yeah, it's like 40. I mean, your
No,
best
it was-
argument is
Because
maybe
2
like
she-bears
the
came down
common
from the
large
mountain
number
and ripped up 40 kids to shreds because they made fun of a dude for being bald.
That's well deserved. Well deserved.
I don't know. That's not. I wouldn't say. I feel like you're defining
would Jesus
hyperbolic
handle that
differently than I
situation?
would define it. Like if you're asking about metaphorical language or something, I feel like that's a better.
Just exaggerated.
Exaggerated makes it sound like they only killed 20, but that doesn't really solve
No,
the problem. If you're saying it's
exaggerated
untoward,
makes it sound like something extreme happened where it didn't.
So no, wait. So
Yeah,
you're saying that's not what hyperbole means. Every word you have like a
people
weird
die or
special
not?
definition. Yeah, did a she-bear kill
Extreme.
people? If you're saying no, that's not hyperbole to say a she-bear came and killed 40 people, and you're saying actually there's no she-bear at all. That's metaphorical. That's
No,
allegorical. It's not.
I'm not saying there's no she-bear at all. I'm
Was there
saying
dead kids? Did he
Well,
kill, or dead teens, or however you want to interpret that word?
because we can't
Confluence.
exclude hyperbolic language from being in the Bible. Right.
Hyperbolic doesn't
Just 'cause
mean
it's
no one
hyperbolic
died. That would
doesn't
be.
mean
That's not what hyperbole means. That's literally not what that word means.
I'm not saying that's what that word means. You're saying I'm saying that's what that word means, probably because it's disagreeing with some fundamental view you have of the scripture.
No,
But-
stop trying to Jungian fucking analyze me, brother. It's like so retarded. You're saying, what would Jesus
You're
think?
changing
And I'm
the
saying,
definition and asserting a definition of hyperbolic of what I mean by it.
Seth, you specifically said, you brought up how it was because they made fun of his bald head, right? Implying, I think fairly, that you're saying that this is some untoward thing. And I'm saying, would it be different if he summoned 2 she-bears to kill 2 kids? Would that change the problem? No, right? That wouldn't. So why are we even talking about hyperbolic language? Unless you mean no kids were killed, in which case we're talking metaphors or allegories or not hyperbole. Do you got what I'm saying?
I don't think any of it's hyperbole.
True.
Hey, Confluence.
I
I'm
think
in
it's all
the same
true.
time zone as you. I'm in the same
Welcome
time
back.
zone as you.
It's actually true.
Oh, Central Standard Time.
I know. I feel a little bit gayer. I understand why you're gay.
You should just keep going north.
Hyperbole is a literary device and figure of speech that uses extreme intentional exaggeration to emphasize a point, evoke strong feelings, or create
Exaggeration means that
exactly
something actually happened.
Yes.
It was exaggerated. It
You
doesn't
just
mean that
read
it
the
never
definition
actually
and you
happened.
somehow
Actually
don't
happened.
understand
A
it.
bunch of kids came up and made fun of being bald, and he cursed and something. Like there's a lesson to be learned there. But the language
Did
may
any of the
not
kids die?
line
No, it's
up
allegorical.
because
Just say that. Just say that.
a human lens.
Did you just say it's Al Gore's
It's not an
fault?
allegory. It's not an allegory. He actually
What does
went there.
Al
He
Gore
actually
have to do with
moved
anything?
mountains.
If kids didn't
But
die,
any
then it's allegorical
Like
or it's
Chaucer.
metaphorical or it's
The ice caps aren't
anecdotal.
open.
It's not
Were
hyperbolic
there
if no
bears? Did
kids
the kids
died.
die? Were there bears or the kids
What do you
died?
mean? Is that not making the situation more extreme?
That's not that. No.
That's not how
It doesn't
exaggerations
change
work.
the nature of the situation.
If
An
no
allegory.
kids died, that would
That's
absolutely
such
change
a
the situation.
weird. That's such an inconsistent.
How
If
is
I
that
said-
inconsistent? What?
Hold on,
Apply that to any real world thing.
If I said, "Hey, the Hulk just broke into my fucking house," right? You think I'm probably exaggerating? Yes.
Hulk Hogan, I can see
Yeah, could be.
if he was still alive.
Now, if nobody broke into my fucking house, that's not exaggeration. That's just a lie. That's a straight up.
Oh man, I'm
non-truth.
literally dying. Is that an exaggeration?
Can we just go back to making
I'm not
fun of
literally- I'm
bald
not
people?
dying.
I mean, if you
No,
are,
that's not. That's,
I said we
that's
go back
like-
to making
that's
fun of
figurative.
Confluence.
Man,
Hyperbole
we're
would be
dead.
if I was telling a story about fighting people and I was like, yeah, I fought off. It must have been like 10 guys, and the actual thing was it was 4
Confluence
guys.
beat off
That's
7
an
guys last night.
exaggeration. That's a
Confluence, how many guys did you beat off last night?
If you
I thought
finish,
he
if you
did beat
if
off
you
7
if you
guys.
ended up finding
That's true.
out that when I said I fought off 10 guys,
had a
I
lot of
actually wasn't in a fight at all, and I fought 0 people. That's not just
Yesterday.
hyperbole anymore, right? That wouldn't make any sense to call it hyperbole.
even if you were even if you were about to get into a fight, right? That could still be hyperbole.
Were the kids
What's up,
punished
Borderline?
for their
I don't
actions?
understand why
That
you're
is what would
like
make it
making
hyperbole.
everything
What
so
punishment do you
overly
think they had?
complicated just to try to make yourself seem smart.
Hold on.
I don't get
punishment
it.
did they have?
So.
What punishment did they have? If they weren't killed by a bear, what was the punishment?
It's very hard to not seem like I'm trying to be smart when you don't know what a hyperbole is.
Did you say Nazi?
You literally,
Yeah, you literally have
Seth,
no idea what a
literally
hyperbole
don't
is.
know
You
what a
demonstrated
hyperbole
it.
is. Yes, you actually don't. That's the ironic
Hold
thing. You have no fucking idea
Can you hear
somehow,
me?
which is
I
crazy
like
because you read the
hyperbole
definition.
too.
We
You
can
know
hear you,
what,
Alex.
Alex, but I can't
Hyperbole
turn you up
strictly
more
by
because you're on
quantitative
mobile, I
value.
think.
Show me in the definition of hyperbole where it is limited to quantitative value.
No,
I haven't gone
it
through
just has to be a
hyperbole.
non-made-up story, right?
This is why women will never have sex with any of you.
Because I didn't go through hyperbole.
High puberty?
Because they weren't hyperbolic enough.
Yeah,
I'm being hypubolic.
I don't know why you're dying on this hill and just instead of just say allegorical. That's a more interesting thing anyway. Because that's what
Al
you mean.
Gore.
I don't know why you're trying to die
Hold
on
on.
this
What
fucking hill of
pig?
hyperbole.
Man,
What
bear,
punishment did the kids get?
Types and forms of exaggeration.
Hold on.
Catastrophizing.
What
A
punishment
cognitive
did the kids
distortion
get?
where one believes a
How were they
situation is
punished?
far worse than it is.
How were they punished?
Overgeneralization. Applying a
Man,
single
bear,
incident
pig.
to
I'm
all
stupid
situations.
cereal, guys.
So
Seth,
you're
How
hyperbolizing.
were they punished? The kids, how were they punished?
They were terrified in some way. Probably 2 she-bears came down from the mountain. Did they kill them?
At first, they were afraid, and then they were petrified.
That doesn't line up. That's not
Hold on, there were
consistent with the
she-bears
rest
then?
of the Bible at all.
Bear bears.
There were she-bears.
See what
Yeah,
happens
they
when
were
you let
she-bears.
everybody read these scriptures.
I'm a man. Grr, I'm a he-she bear.
So
And
what
you
you're saying
know that
is
an
the
event like
hyperbole
that's
is
going to
that
play into confirmation
rather than
bias.
just being scared, the bears killed 40 of them.
Can you
That's the
imagine if
hyperbole.
He-Man became a tranny and became She-Man and we sold merch?
Like Chaucer.
I actually would.
Chaucer exaggerated. He hyperbolized the negative features to make caricatures of people he didn't like. Right? That is hyperbole.
I have the entitled power.
Since you were psychoanalyzing me, Seth, I'm going to psychoanalyze you back. What does it say about you that you can't use the proper word and you have to try to look up definitions to try to prove that, in fact, you were using the right word if you think about it, instead of just being like, yeah, that's not what hyperbole means. I should have said a different word. What does that say about you, Seth? That's what I want to ask.
What about
It says that I thought about what the fucking word means.
Insecurity.
Why did you just not
You're
Big Soda's name?
look up the definition
Nobody,
of
hey,
hyperbole.
no,
Point that out.
I did not know Big Soda's name was Seth, and now I know because you're a shitty friend.
True.
That is not Big Soda. I know. I understand he sounds like Big Soda, but that's not Big Soda.
That's not Big Soda?
That's not Big Soda.
No, he just sounds like Big Soda. That's not Big
Oh my
Soda.
God, that really sounds like him.
Yeah,
that's
when I went
medium
to eat,
soda.
I thought it was Big Soda talking for a second. But
He literally sounds exactly like Big Soda. See right there, I was being hyperbolic and incendiary and inflammatory and exaggeratory.
And allegorical.
And,
Just kidding.
no, just allegorical. Not allegorical, just allegorical.
Allegorical. That's true.
Really,
Like there was a gore
sound
for Al.
him.
Like Al had a gore.
Like Al Gore, the vice president. Yes, like Al Gore.
Do Seth, I don't know if you want to say, do you live in South Carolina
here's
or a
one.
similar place?
It's man, bear, pig. I'm super
Jesus
cereal, guys.
urges his followers to gouge out their sinful eyes.
That's hyperbolic.
Is that hyperbole?
I guess.
I don't
I don't know if that's exactly the right word.
instead meant.
He instead meant
So,
that
is
it
what
would be
you're-
better for you to gouge out your eyes than to allow your eyes to get you into a sinful position in the same way that he says about anything else. But he doesn't mean to say you should actually do that. It's basically, it's just, it would be better.
Interesting.
So,
So is
a
that
man-
the moral standard by which we should live, Seth? Should people gouge out their eyes so they don't engage in sin?
We could have a verbal debate if you want to have word-to-word
Are you
comment.
reading for comprehension?
Why have a verbal debate? Why don't we just fight?
What he's essentially
No.
saying,
Wrong.
what the argument that he's currently making right now is because some things are hyperbolic, that means almost everything is hyperbolic with them.
No, I made something
That's what
No.
I'm saying.
Or
I'm
anything could be
asking, I'm
hyperbolic.
not stating, I'm asking if did you consider any,
You're
did
making
you
a
acknowledge
statement.
that you know there is
This
This
hyperbolic,
panel's going to put me in a
like-
hyperbolic chamber. Get it?
You're making an assertive
hyperbaric.
statement.
creative writing?
Yes,
in there.
there's some
Are
hyperbole.
you guys having a fight over who's the most autistic right now? Like, we're all friends. What the
Yes.
fuck is wrong with you fairies?
Yes, they are.
This is so gay.
Sounds like it.
No, hang on.
You guys are in a competition over who can get laid the least right now.
The dude, don't you know?
I'd rather watch the video that
Lord,
the
I hope none
panel
of
is
you get
for.
laid. I hope you all
fire.
get married and stop thinking about sexuality in this fucking disgusting way that you do. So anyway,
Why do you sound
now can
inbred
continue
and
the
fucking
conversation
IQ
with
sub
this gay little
114?
report?
You
Why
have a
do you sound like
513 credit
sun-dried
score.
tomato on the ass lips of the fucking Italian Empire, you stupid fuck. What are you even
I'm incredibly
talking about right
stupid.
now? You wanna
Then
do
why do I
this
make
right
more
now?
money? Why do I make more
Yes,
money than
you
you?
are. I understand that. Thank you
Why
for
do I make
admitting
more money?
that. We understand that.
Why do I make
Can
more
you
money?
Shut the fuck up now.
Why do I make more money? I would
Who cares
knock you
about
the
your
fuck out.
money?
You
Why does
cunt.
it matter how much money you have?
Because my life's
How much
better than
money-
yours.
Why does it matter how much money?
Because I
Why
can
does
order
it like-
6 shrimp with my steak when I go to Outback.
Because you have more money.
Because I can
Shallow way
order
of
more
living your
food when I
life.
go to
It's
Texas
because-
Roadhouse.
Dude,
Yes,
this might
dude.
be
I
one
can
of
get
those
the upgraded
moments
car wash.
where
So
Alex
now
was
you can be
talking
fat.
about looking
Yeah,
back
that's one of
Congratulations.
those
Now you have an
moments where you
overabundance
sound
and you
like
can be
a-
obese. Good for you.
What's the right term for that?
Hey,
You sound like a Republican on Grindr.
Come on, man. I have a joke. I just want to throw my joke out there. It's
Hold on,
cool.
are Republicans actually
Come on,
Grindr?
man.
Or do you have to be a
But
liberal?
none
to
of
be
this
able to
answered
do
my
that?
question of like how the hyperbolic language affects your views of the Bible. Like, was it
No,
a
it
part of it
doesn't.
already, understanding, or?
It doesn't.
It pertains to what you're saying. Listen. Instead of having hand-to-hand combat, we should have word-to-word comment.
No, that's just something a fat diabetic loser would say that looks like the guy from Deadpool. Like, no, hand-to-hand combat's way better.
It's more fun, at least.
I think Bradley is a better person than you.
Okay.
And he has more money than you.
My
And he has more
action
sex
figure
than you.
fell over. Hey, it's been up there for so
See,
long.
I can make baseless claims as
That's
well.
why you said that. That's crazy. You son of a bitch. My action figure.
How did this bullshit even start?
Because six virgins are fighting over hyperbolic versus exaggeratory or allegorical.
Hold on. How this started is somebody who doesn't believe in Christ calls himself a Christian.
That's true. That was the initial contention.
I'm gonna go.
The question provided is, can you really call yourself a Christian?
Bye,
if you don't believe in
Bradley.
Christ?
I'll see you guys later. Have a good night.
My question is, can you call yourself a Christian if you believe in magic?
In an hour.
Yes.
See
you,
you,
King.
everyone.
Yeah, Bradley was
What do you
catching
think,
strays
Alexander?
there.
Can you? What are you asking?
He kind
Can
of
you
does
be a
look like
Christian
the guy
if you
from
believe in
Deadpool, the
magic?
guy who's the bartender.
Yeah, of course.
TJ something.
You
Assume that
believe-
magic is some version of like divine energy that you don't have access to or understand.
No, it's in the Bible. That's not up for interpretation. It's in the Bible.
Is it called magic?
Yep, magic, sorcery.
Are you
was
saying that
accused of
things
it.
in the Bible are not up for interpretation?
How are you going to say it's up for interpretation? We were trying to tell us 2 minutes ago that the she-bears actually killed no one. They just terrified kids. So that one is up for interpretation. But then you're saying this, in this example, this isn't up for interpretation. How can you
Because
hold
it's a
both of those
law,
perspectives?
it's not a narrative. It's a law, it's not a narrative.
What's the law?
So
The
laws
law
don't need
is
interpretation.
burn sorceress. Do not suffer the like there's laws against magic.
Right, but first of all, it doesn't say anything about the veracity of the magic, right? Like we don't know what those people were exactly doing.
No, I will say that the Egyptian sorcerers did do magic against Moses and Aaron. If you remember, when Aaron cast his rod to the ground and turned into a snake, they did the same thing.
Wait, hold on. So then Aaron was also a sorcerer?
They did the same thing.
So it was sorcery against sorcery? One for God, one for not?
Look, I believe
No,
in
when
magic.
God
Okay, don't
does
threaten
it,
me with a
it's
good
not
time.
sorcery.
But God didn't do it. Moses did, right?
Well, no, God did do it.
No, that's not what the Bible says at all. Every single
Well,
miracle
what
that
if
is
God was
performed
doing
is
it for the
God
other people
performing
too,
the
then?
miracle. Do what?
What if God was doing it for the
What
other
if God
people
was
too?
one of us?
What if God was one of us? True. Actually,
He was.
true.
Just a
He's all
slob
of
like
us.
one of us.
He actually is one of us.
What if God was Maryland?
There's a stranger on a bus.
No, God is
Absolutely.
Christ. He is one of us. He's just like us.
I wouldn't say just like us, but
It was a song in the '90s
And
by
hold
a
on,
singer.
is that
I think
is or
her name was. It wasn't Joan Osborne. Who sang that song? What if God was one of us?
Actually,
I
I have a
don't
question.
remember.
I have a question. Hold on. Is Christ like one of us, or was he like one of us?
He is like one of us.
Still?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure Christ
But
transcends
isn't he
time.
God?
There's no way that's
human-
Alanis
there's a-
Morissette. There's no way.
It was not
Christ
Alanis
is a-
Morissette.
It's not Alanis Morissette, Testy.
I thought it was
There's no
something
way.
Osborne. Michelle Osborne,
Ozzy
maybe.
Osbourne.
When did he lose his human
Joan
body,
Osborne,
Alex?
Joan Osborne.
He may
It
have a
was
human
Joan
body, doesn't
Osborne?
mean he suffers
Yeah,
human
you're
ailments
right.
anymore, right?
What if God was one of us?
Actually, did he ever suffer human ailments? Did he ever get sick?
I don't know. It's not told to us.
No.
He could
He
have.
was crucified under
I would
Pontius
imagine he
Pilate. He was denied 3 times.
Everything that he suffered was caused by man.
Yeah. Well,
Everything he was suffered was caused by Jews.
That's not true, actually. The
The
40
Blue
days and 40
Jays
nights in the
caused it.
desert was not caused by man.
The what?
The 40 days and 40 nights in the desert, that was not caused by man.
Well, it also says in that same passage.
Himself?
Yeah, he did. But it also says in that same passage, Alex and Luke, that you're referencing, that he fasted often after speaking with the multitudes. So that's just something he did.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
He also didn't like people studying too deep into his words. The Pharisees and the Sadducees were not his favorites.
Christ was a Pharisee, so
I don't know if they were studying super deep into his words, though.
He said, "Be weary." What is it? Be weary of orthodoxy
and lie.
Be weary of orthodoxy.
Be weary of Jewish. I don't know. Never heard that.
No, they didn't say Jewish. Just it's like the Bible warns not to be orthodox.
Well, there wasn't.
I don't know about
Orthodox
that.
is far more than just like at the time. Those really.
I'm assuming he means like lower Orthodox.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I mean, Orthodox is the adjective, not the title. Like Orthodox is an adjective.
Right,
like you can be Orthodox in anything.
Right, but Orthodox means like go back to etymology. It means like right teaching.
That's actually true.
Right?
You can be Orthodox in anything.
Jesus wasn't against right teaching.
It's fundamentalism. Fundamentalism.
Yeah. That sounds like what he's saying is don't be too sure of yourself.
Well, he was against holding to legalism for sure, and fundamentalism to the point of not understanding what he was talking about.
You mean like people who believe themselves rather than.
Did Jews have a Google rating? Like we all leave like a Google rating on the Jews.
No, I always leave it at 0.
Noah, he had a great ride on that ship.
That's true.
He did, yeah. Good ride.
If you think about it, that was
do any of you do any ministry? Do any of you do any ministry or missionary work? Just out of curiosity.
No.
I do every day at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
It depends on what your definition is.
You're trying to have sex with Grace Thorpe because Marilyn doesn't want you, and you desperately seek the validation of unexceptional whites. This is not
the only
a
person I'm
godly
trying to
endeavor.
fuck is your mom, dude. Sincerely, that's the only person.
Affluence
That's
gets
the only
excited
person.
when Grace puts her foot up on her.
I've noticed that too.
Window.
He always
I didn't
leans
ask her to do
forward when
that.
she puts her feet up.
She did it one time. I did not lean forward. It's on video.
You had your tongue out.
You noticed it?
Licking your chops.
Interesting.
She literally said she. Don't gaslight me.
I mean,
you ask for it all the time.
This wasn't like an accidental foot show. This was like, if you remember, this was like a,
I don't remember. I wasn't paying attention.
You were licking your chops and you were.
I was not licking my chops.
I saw the lip lick.
The plot is still up. There's no lip lick. No,
there was a lip lick. You were like,
there was.
Those look tasty.
Damn.
That's true. Rage Page is right. Orthodontist means right or correct.
He said
teeth,
true to
as
cover up
Durang is saying.
Alex's.
Yeah, you should not have correct teeth. Did Jesus have correct teeth?
Probably.
Did he get an orthodontist?
The dude, I actually have done missionary
He's
work
the
before.
divine
It was mostly
orthodontist.
construction stuff.
Yeah, true.
I appreciate. I'm just saying, like the idea of like faith without works, right? And James, and I'm not picking on. I'm just curious. Like, do any of you do any? Do any of you take spiritual principles into practical application?
I was asking your definition.
Have faith without
I have.
I was asking your definition. I mean, I guess if you're counting missionary.
It's not my definition. It's if you give of yourself, your time, your money, or your resources, I would consider that to be a godly. And that's an internal question.
Okay.
It's not a metric that you fucking virgins can quantify.
No. I was just asking because you asked specifically about missionary work. You didn't give all this give of yourself and stuff like that.
Well, no, I said ministry or missionary. I was giving credence to both.
I did missionary work.
I do that work whenever I donate to
enjoy the
Confluence's
missionary
stream
sometimes.
so we can get a car.
Does anyone think Ben did missionary work with Grace?
Not Confluence.
Only missionary style.
Yeah, you are literally the only one talking about Grace, and you bring her up like every 10 minutes.
That's true. That's true. You're saying I'm obsessed. You brought her up like a million times.
I also brought up Big Soda and Young Christian.
Yeah, but not
Isn't
nearly
Young
as
Christian
often.
your editor?
Not with the same ferocity and lasciviousness as you
I
did with
also
Grace.
want Confluence to get laid. I'm trying to be a wingman, you cunts.
Hold on,
Do
I
it.
tried to set him up with Glacier.
Pretty good.
But he
Umbless
ruined
doesn't
that.
need y'all to be setting him up with people.
Dude,
okay?
I want to get you a one-way ticket to Northern Florida so you can profess your love for Maryland. I will buy that ticket.
Super chat it.
I'm not going to super chat it. YouTube takes like 35% of that.
That's
you twat.
true. You want to?
Hey, I have a link.
35%?
Buy me a coffee. They take like 2% there. Okay.
You don't know my screen name. I've actually made a couple of donations to the channels. You twat waffle.
Hey, you
Ooh,
said you'd pay the plane ticket. I'm just
I
giving you
would.
an
I would buy
avenue that
if
you can do
if,
this.
if you wanted to go sit outside Maryland's window with a boombox over your head. I would pay up to $500 for a one-way ticket. I'd even buy you an aisle seat.
Hold on,
That sounds
hold
like
on.
Hawthorne Heights coded for
He
real.
needs to make a stream out of that. He needs to do that live.
Obviously, I'm not going to do
one-way
that.
ticket is not going to get him in the States.
Instead of Hungry Eyes, we'll write a remix called Sinful Eyes. And you can just play that song over your head.
With a boombox, I'm down.
Yeah.
You ever crowdfund me to go to Florida?
All of us will go behind you and sing backup as you do like the Top Gun song.
What particularly attracts you to Maryland out of curiosity?
Oh wait, no.
Well, she's gone if you think about it.
Is Maryland the one who says that crazy anti-Semitic stuff?
Sometimes. Sometimes.
She's a very strongly anti-Semitic.
He's the one asking me if I was a Jew.
She says, yeah.
I got that love.
Everyone has flaws, though.
feeling.
How is that not Big Soda talking? That's fucking me up so bad.
It's no different than when Brandon and Mo were on the same panel.
It's Big Soda's evil twin.
True.
How dare you, Testy? She's a based woman. She's a based woman.
She does have base. True.
Is Seth the guy that says he believes?
How about would you like to date?
Is your wife laughing at me because I said Maryland's based? Is that what's
Would you
happening
like
right
to
now?
date what's her name? Emma Watson or Scarlett Johansson or something like that, like a famous Hollywood actress or actress? Confluence.
Look, just really quick, go back to that question. Do y'all think there's any point?
My section's wife right now, so I didn't hear your question.
Is there any point to faith without
would you
works?
like to date like a famous actress, basically, like a celebrity woman?
Are you asking, do I have a celebrity woman I'd
that
want to
works
date?
Yeah.
No, it just doesn't exist.
Named
It's not
Anna
faith.
Cramling, for example.
No, but I mean like an actress.
That was a Bible quote. I was just quoting the Bible.
No,
I remember when
actress.
Megan Fox used
Oh,
to be hot.
that
Faith
girl
has
from
to change
Stranger
you in some
Things.
way.
Natalie
If it doesn't, then you don't
Dyer
have
is
faith.
maybe the actress's name. That's my pick, Kirk.
Maybe she'll run
Confluence
to
has
her
a crush on
career.
Jeffree Star.
If
No,
she
that's
ain't
not true.
Jewish,
This
she
is
ain't
not
right
Gross.
for Confluence.
That was true.
Rose.
Why are you lying? Why are you lying, Confluence?
Israeli.
Stop lying.
Tom flew lie.
But does anyone think there's any
Live
points that is there any
Live
points of faith without works? Yes or no?
No,
No.
I don't think you can have faith without work.
That's why I was
Wait,
asking.
is there any point? Is there any point? I think there's some point, but not a lot.
Yeah, the dude I do.
Okay. What's the point then?
Yeah, I've
The
gone,
point is to
I've
motivate
gone
you
to
to do
Maine,
future
West
work.
Virginia, Mexico, and when Katrina came through, I went down there and helped clean up houses and rebuild.
Oh no,
them.
I thought you just said when you said I do. I thought you were saying there's a point to faith without works.
Oh no, I'm saying missionary work and stuff like that it's important.
Bro,
yeah, you were
that's-
asking if anyone had done it, and I was like, yeah, I did, multiple times.
I think there's a lot of people in the world that they try to become so godly they're no longer any earthly good, and it leaves a bad taste in people's mouths about religion,
Like
specifically
Bill
with any orthodoxy.
Like
Yeah,
those
well,
people that
and
smoke
a
like
simpler way to
straight
put it, I would
without
say, is
themselves.
rather than just talking the talk, you got to be able to walk the walk as well. People should be able to tell you're a Christian by the way you.
They'll know who we are by
in
our
your
works.
community and such.
Where is that in the Bible?
You
They'll
shouldn't
know
have to
who
go
we are
around
by our
telling
works.
people you're a Christian.
By your fruit, you'll know.
Yeah,
By the fruit, yeah, they'll know who we are by our. Thank you.
Yeah.
By the fruit of your loin.
Yep. Exactly.
By the fruit of the loom.
Yeah. Yeah.
That too.
You've got to wear that
That's
brand.
pretty fair too.
That's how they know.
That's
It's like the Mormon holy underpants, but for Christians.
They are
the
full of
Mormons
holes.
wear?
That's true.
like when my YouTube channel was like relatively big. You know, we would raise money for sick people in the community. Like even on my YouTube channel, I tried to do some sort of philanthropy, and I do have a hard time discussing spiritual matters with people that like miserly. To be miserly is not to be godly. Is that? Can we agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a very blue collar approach to Christianity. I never saw the point.
Was blue collar.
Just boots on the ground, infantry, enlisted. Just full frontal assault. Like I told you guys, I have a couple of houses for guys that get out of prison.
That's grunts.
I just said infantry.
Grunts.
Right. Grunt is a synonym for an infantryman.
Yeah, true.
And I think too many people. It's too many people we have too many preachers and not enough people in the congregation. And not you guys. I'm metaphorical. This is like
it is them too. It's them too.
Are you being hyperbolic right now, the dude?
I think I'm being allegorical because I invented the internet. You twat.
No, I think you're absolutely right there,
Is
dude.
Man
I
Bear
think you're
Pig
100% correct.
real?
Say again?
Is Man Bear Pig real? The Al Gore theory?
I'm just busting balls, guys.
The Man Bear Pig is absolutely real. That is not theory.
So you weren't
It is truth.
being genuine when you said what you said a second ago?
About Man Bear Pig? That I'm not being fucking like No,
I was talking about the stuff before that.
You were being
I'm being 100%. It's like the whole idea. It's not what you give, but what you give yourself. It's if somebody's out there, like there's a guy I know on YouTube, and he tries to buy and sell, and he tries to flip like limited edition or hard to come by Bibles. And I can't imagine that Christ, if he manifested in the flesh, came down, would be happy to see like an eBay auction on like his words. Like I just,
especially some of those ones are like $1 million fucking dollars. Yeah.
I mean, it's not the Gutenberg Bible, but it's just some sort of. That's all I'm saying is I think people get caught up in the pageantry of Christianity, and they forget that it's really just a means to an end on how to live by spiritual principles. And I think that a lot of the academia is for nothing if you don't figure out a way how to like alleviate the suffering of others and help other people grow.
Yeah, that's true.
It's about living like Christ, the message, the way he lived, not the miracles that made us interested
how did Christ
in it.
Convince people by living it, right?
Yeah, like he demonstrated it. He didn't just have the message and give it to us. He lived it. And that's what we should learn from.
Yeah, well, one thing I'm curious about is how Confluence seems to be a fan of Nietzsche's ideas, but to my understanding, Nietzsche was a big critic of Christianity.
Yeah, I'm also a big fan of Aleister Crowley, and he hated Christianity.
Crowley was a piece of shit.
He's a brilliant writer.
It's almost like you can agree with some things and disagree with other things that people believe.
No,
Weird.
that's not right.
If you
That's
think
not
about
right.
it, that is true. Yeah,
that is not right. You can't agree with just some parts of people's beliefs. Come on.
I agree, but the essence. I mean, I don't know much about Nietzsche, but I do know for Crowley, he literally the essence of his philosophy contradicts Christianity. Crowley is all about hedonism and like occultism.
And
I would guess you probably haven't read it.
So what?
I don't have to. I know he was about hedonism and occultism.
He wasn't about hedonism. Occultism, sure.
Okay, well, that's everything I've heard about him.
Regardless of all of that, do you agree with everything that is said by every person you've ever read a book by?
No, but he's not. He hasn't just read him. He says that he's a fan of him.
What's wrong with that?
So what?
Yeah, well,
so I'm saying, if you disagree with someone's philosophy, why would you be a fan of them?
If he's a fan for the things he agrees on, and not a fan of the things he doesn't like, he could still be a fan, right?
Yeah, I guess.
What it comes down
like
to
you're
is
acting like
you have
it was just anti-Christian, but that's obviously not true.
You have to have a framework.
Even in the Antichrist by Nietzsche, there's a lot of like truth in it.
Yeah, I like that. But here's the thing, like, at least
you can take
Nietzsche,
elements and apply that to the framework, and it
as I understand it, is the emphasis on authenticity.
Wasn't Nietzsche also like mourning the death of Christianity, not like celebrating?
Yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of he wasn't, he obviously, he had a lot of scathing things to say about Christianity. Most of it, I think, that's the thing. Like a lot of it is like some of it, well, not a lot. Well, yeah, a lot of it was like good criticisms.
Most of it really.
He misunderstood Nietzsche.
And
he just had this idea of how authority was supposed to be imposed that didn't line up with Christ. I guess that's all I have to say about Nietzsche. Crowley, he was a character, but he was an idiot. But he enjoyed being an idiot, so no loss.
So I guess let me rephrase my question then. Do you guys think anyone who doesn't do missionary or ministry work or try to is there any point in us listening to that type of a human being? You reference Christianity, the word of the Bible, or liturgy.
You learn what not to be and how not to be.
Okay. I'm just noticing in Christianity, much the way of fitness influencers, who I think are like the cancer of like the weightlifting fitness community. There's like a lot of YouTube, and Confluence is my favorite. I'm not talking about him, but I just think there's a lot of poor representations of Christianity.
I would say yes, there's exceptions to that, the dude, and I'll give you a good one, which is monastic.
Well, I posted it as a question. I didn't say the way I see it is right. I posted it as a question for the panel.
Oh, okay. Well, I would say yes, because there are, and I guess maybe in a roundabout way, they're still doing it, is monastics will go live in a monastery, and essentially they serve each other, but they essentially give all of themselves because they embrace celibacy and all these things. And their whole job now is to serve the pilgrims that come to their monastery, like families and stuff like this, and to give them counsel and advice. And then
that's literally the definition of service.
Oh, okay. Well, then
I get where you're, but yes,
you don't have to be like a priest to
no
in service.
No, I'm not saying you have to be a priest. I was just saying that they're not like out doing ministry work. Like they're not doing missionary work. They go live in a monastery.
They do ministry work.
Just to state,
they do
what
ministry.
They're doing is
they do
helping
ministry.
People around them that they can, right? And that's pretty much what ministry means.
Well, I was just saying missionary. They didn't do missionary.
We were just talking. I mean, they probably do missionary.
Sometimes they do.
Don't say they probably do missionary and then not finish the sentence. That sounds like a really weird monastery.
I mean,
well, you could say hermits don't really do, like hermit monastics didn't really do a lot of missionary work, but they devoted themselves, they gave all of themselves to the Lord, and they just prayed for the world, was what they devoted their lives to. So,
okay. Yeah,
I mean,
but
it sounds
that
like a lot of
prayer is
self-sacrifice
faith without works.
So yeah, I'm good with
if the totality of the good you do in the world intentionally is praying at your bedside every night, and the rest of it is just you trying to get along in the world, that's not gonna have any significance to your salvation.
Well,
I think you have a fundamental misunderstanding of what prayer is.
Yeah, unless you believe in prayer, then it probably.
Did you really just say everyone here has a fundamental misunderstanding of what prayer is?
I said Tim.
All you're doing,
if you actually listen to the words that come out of my mouth, you'd notice that I said Tim.
That's why I asked. I didn't accuse you. I said, did you say? That's what I thought I heard.
All right. Okay. Maybe we
I'm repeating what I said.
I literally said, did you just say? I didn't accuse you of it. That's what I thought I heard.
Yeah, I'm not saying you accused me of it.
I just took it the wrong way because of the way you had talked to me before. My apologies.
It's okay.
Hey, also, the dude, to your question before about, should we listen to them? Wouldn't you agree that it's important to listen to them, because how can you lead them back onto the correct path if they're wrong, if you're not even willing to listen to them, right? So you got to be able to, they need to feel heard, right? And then they'll listen to what you have to say, and then they can be corrected.
So I would say that open-mindedness is almost a prerequisite to the spirituality. I think that the moment you're no longer
and that's not to say that you adopt what they believe, but you can at least hear them out. That way you know where to critique what they actually got wrong about it.
Okay, I just, when I see some of I don't know if anyone here belongs to a mega church, so I'm sorry if you take offense to this, but
no.
Oh, okay.
They can all go. Yeah.
They can all go pound sand.
If someone here does belong to a megachurch, they probably should be
Catholicism
offended.
is a megachurch.
It's
Like,
good
I have
for them.
offended because you belong to one. Get the fuck out. Just saying.
I have a friend who's a Jehovah's Witness, and like they have elders who the whole idea of anything that I do to place a man's reliance upon me rather than upon his faith, I'm doing a disservice to God, and I think that's where a lot of discipleship and mentorship goes awry.
True.
Is people enjoy the playing God, for lack of a better term.
Feeling important.
Question from fuck.
I want to show people how to align with Christ, not just
What
feed
is
them the
wrong?
fish of.
Hold up. Hold up. Super chats are being read. Super chats are being read. Section 230 is right. Okay, people talk over them too much. What's wrong with selling Bibles that have rare aesthetics when they can otherwise almost all be found with the exact text? Inform a bad Christian. What is wrong with selling rare Bibles?
Hello?
I don't think that there's anything wrong with selling that in general, but when you're upcharging, you're missing the point of the Bible in the first place. All of the text is the same, right? So why is one Bible worth more than the other than the fact of some kind of fake rarity?
So,
like, a book is older, that's cool, but that doesn't automatically make it worth more.
But what if it's owned by, I don't know,
bordering idolatry?
I understand it. I understand it, but
yeah,
if it was owned by,
why does it matter who owned it?
Well, I guess if it was just
that might hold personal importance to you.
I guess that's what I mean. Let's say it was C.S. Lewis's Bible. I'd be curious on what did he underline? What kind of notes did he write in the margin? Just on a personal level, I'd be curious to just well, then maybe it would just be the same as just owning.
Then it kind of wouldn't matter at all, would it?
But it'd be the same thing. I would like to own C.S. Lewis's pipe. He smoked out of a pipe. I think that'd be based as fuck. If I could buy his pipe, that'd be awesome.
Someone I like touched this, therefore it's worth $10,000 more.
Yeah, but that's how the world works. I mean, I wouldn't pay $10,000.
Sure, I mean, you can opt to pay more for it, but I think that
here's the problem.
Especially with something as important as the Bible, being greedy like that, and trying to play on people's familiarity with other figures is taking away from the importance of the Bible itself.
Yeah, it feels a little untoward if you're the dude is describing flipping Bibles that you're buying low, selling high. But I understand that someone exceptional is their Bible's gonna sell for more. I don't know how to really avoid that.
Okay, so hold on.
I'll give you an example. Confluence,
right?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Sacred, yeah.
It'd be like selling tickets to go see Jesus Christ.
No, but it's not, because even when fucking
that would be wild.
It's not selling the Bible. You're selling the materials, not the words. That's the thing. You can get the same version for free. If I'm buying C.S. Lewis's Bible, right, it's a sentimental thing. Like I said, it's maybe I want to see what he wrote in the notes, or if he didn't write anything, maybe it's just in the same way I'd buy his pipe, Now, maybe you could say that, if you're really trying to gouge people or imply something spiritual about the thing itself, then I get how that could seem.
Yeah, it's more special because it's older or owned by someone is kind of detracting from it. I'll give you an example. If I have a box of 100 rosaries and they're actually only $5 each, but because I went to the Pope and asked him to put them all on, even if just for a second, he wore them and took them right off. Now I'm going to charge you $10,000 per rosary because the Pope wore it. Doesn't that seem a bit untoward?
It does seem untoward, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know. The rosary I always wear on stream, I got it from a monastery in Wisconsin, and it is special to me. And I would have, I could get a free rosary, but I was also, obviously the money's going to the monastery, but I didn't mind spending whatever it was, a bit more to get it and support the monastery and also get it from a special place. It was a beautiful cathedral. And I was this has was a meaningful religious experience.
What was sentimental?
Even what you said, your response was telling. It went to benefit the monastery, not a single person's pockets.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to think
It's different if you just have it and you decide to sell it from you're buying and selling it as a business.
Yeah, I guess I would say that.
Right. Like,
I guess I'm thinking if I happen to own C.S. Lewis's Bible, and let's say Section, you're like, hey, I'll give you $5,000 for C.S. Lewis's Bible. I don't know. Would I feel wrong about selling it? Like, I would feel wrong about buying low and selling high.
If someone offers, that's different.
Model.
No, that's
Isn't
fine.
it?
You can, if you own something, you can sell it. It's up to you. You don't have to give away your Bible, right?
I guess let me simplify the question. Does anyone take issue with somebody profiting heavily, like making their whole livelihood on religion?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
I do.
kind of what I was
find it
getting at with that.
problematic.
I would actually disagree with that. Like someone like a Billy Graham.
Yeah, it would depend on what you mean.
Graham, but like,
Didn't Jesus tell the apostles not to accept money for their works?
I think that's
the point is you're not supposed to be.
So, but
you're
are
not
you
supposed
saying
to
then
be
like
trying to get rich off of it?
I understand.
If so, you're doing it for the wrong reason.
Well, sure, but I guess like, is it wrong?
No different than a mega church.
Is it wrong for like some like, okay, so I guess even like in the Orthodox Church, or what's the guy you like, Patrick, the based guy that talks about the toll houses?
Father Seraphim Rose.
Yeah, like let's say I don't know what his like stuff is, but if he's selling his books, let's say he gets some money from the books he sells. He's not like selling spiritual. I don't think that's the same as what like the Bible's talking about like you can't sell stuff, you know, like I think there's nothing wrong if Seraphim Rose is selling his books and he gets some money from it.
Well,
I don't think
selling
that's
a book you wrote and selling a Bible is not the same thing.
Well, I agree, but someone
monetizing the word of God is the problem.
Yes, but someone asked, would it be? I think the dude asked, is it wrong to make your living off of this? And I think it depends on your motive. If your motive is bad, sure. But if you end up, let's say you're just a famous Christian author and people are buying your books, are you obligated to like give them for free or like donate to charity? I don't think you're.
No,
I think you're living as a Christian author.
The Bible specifically.
Can I ask a question?
Well, no,
not
when the dude asked the general. I think the dude asked the general question. He said, "Is it wrong to make your?"
Let me say what I meant by my question, just because confluence is kind of right. I'm asking questions in generalities. It's not necessarily about whether or not it's right or wrong, but I like to explore ideas with people. So that was my idea on, to get paid to proselytize. Instead of pay-per-view, I call the mega churches. I say, welcome, live on pray-per-view. This weekend for 10% of your gross yearly income, you too can have a relationship with Christ. Be one of 7,000 people never to know your pastor. And it's fun to kind of chat about, but I like to get.
That's obviously wrong. But like a pastor at like a normal church, they do get a salary. Unless you have like a vow of poverty, but like at some random, like let's say it's a small Protestant church, right? They pay out of the tithe, they pay the pastor a salary. He's a full-time
You just made the question. You just made the question better. Like, I'm Catholic. No priest or no Monsignor or no pastor in a Catholic church owns the church. Do you find there to be conflict with a pastor who owns the church?
No, I don't. No, I don't think. I see no problem with that.
I disagree.
I disagree too, but.
I think if you bought a church and you bought the land, you built it yourself, let's say, I don't see what is inherently wrong with that. I don't think you have to take a vow of poverty to do a ministry or anything like that.
I'm not saying a vow of poverty. Do you think anyone should anyone ever go to a church where the service is being simulcasted from another location?
Yeah, I'm not going to put like lines in the sand about that. I think it's the motive behind it. Like, yes, if you're like a Benny Hinn or like a Peter Popoff, of course, like in the extremes, if you just care about the money, that's
Billy
bad.
Graham.
I don't think I've known pastors that they'll raise money and they'll buy lands. They'll like maybe renovate an old church, turn it into a new church, get people going. And they own the deed, and they're collecting a salary, but it's a modest salary and they're doing it full time. I see nothing wrong with that.
How would you quantify a modest salary?
Of the talent.
Something that's livable. Like obviously it's a hard.
Well,
I don't know.
The small loan of a million.
Middle class conflict with the person who owns the church. If you own a church and you make your money by how many people come to it, then you would do whatever it takes to water down whatever you need to water down for them to come to your church.
Well, no, I mean that there's a temptation there, Elderline. I don't see how that's just on its face true though, because that's the same with like any, like I know someone who, I know you're not Catholic, but I know you probably respect Catholics more than Protestants. I know I personally know a guy that, and I think he's a good dude, and he owns like a Catholic like bookstore, and he'll sell Catholic books, and this is his business, but he doesn't water. It's not like he's selling new age stuff. I mean, he's doing stuff like, and he's a deacon in his church, and he owns a Catholic bookstore, he owns the land, and he sells books, and that's his business. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like the temptation could be, yeah, I'll sell anything as long as it'll get, you know. But if you don't do that, if you don't succumb to that temptation,
the books themselves and his own works, that's different than the church and what the church is intended to be.
Because right, but I guess that's what I'm trying to get to. I think your problem is like, is your view of the church. But if we replace it with some other type of like Christian, either ministry or something, I don't think most people would see a problem like taking some type of salary from this thing, because that enables you to do this, you know.
Jesus talks about this. It's the parable of the talents.
Could you make an argument that the Gutenberg Bible is a false idol? That's I'm sorry to I'm really trying to get down to the nuts and bolts of the question I initially asked. Like, do you think that like idolatry, like false idolatry in and of itself, like some of the pageantry of like Christian merch, for lack of a better term, like you can definitely idolatrize all kinds of stuff, right? Well, you can basically anything.
It falls under pride.
Well, that's why. Then is it ethical? Like to?
I don't think it's something you can make a. I don't think you can make a hard and fast rule. I think it's going to be a more
that sentiment is supposed to be reserved for interpersonal relationships.
Hello. I would like a number 4 with Coke Zero, please.
No, we actually can generate objects can be holy.
Don't forget about the number 8.
I've never been to this. Cane sauce is what everybody talks about, right?
Oh, Raising Cane's.
Yeah, I'm here. Is that good, guys? That's
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
If I'm getting 4 nuggets, I need more than 1 baby sauce. All right. No, I gotta pay. Oh, I get to pay for it, fellas. Yes, everyone on YouTube says Raising Cane's is cheap, but yes, I'll pay for 1 more, man.
Joe, it's not cheap.
I said it's pretty good.
That's it. Thank you. Am I going to be happy with this place, guys?
Yes.
It's pretty all right.
I'm on the road in St. Louis, so I don't like eating junk food, and I don't like eating this late at night, but
it's overhyped, the dude. I'll tell you right now, it's overhyped.
Okay.
It's still good, but it's overhyped. It's not.
You know what I had for the first time the other day was Chick-fil-A.
Culver's is pretty good too.
Oh, what did you think about Chick-fil-A?
Good. So I got the grilled nuggets, which was because it was just high protein. It was like post workout. I got the grilled nuggets and like a small fry. It was pretty tasty.
Did you get any sauce?
You got some nuggets and some fries.
I think I got Polynesia sauce, if I remember correctly.
Oh, the purple package. The purple.
No, dude, just get the Chick-fil-A sauce.
Oh, I'm not a big.
We got Popeyes in Canada now. That's right.
Here's a fun question for the panel.
I wonder why.
Would you say that being obese or sedentary is godly or Christian?
No.
Okay.
No.
How could it be?
I'm just at like
I'm supposed to be a temple.
So I'm kind of incendiary and inflammatory with some of the shit I say, and I think you guys are starting to realize that by now. But like to not exercise and respect the meat suit. Like that's when somebody says like they live a life devoted to Christ, and if they smoke cigarettes and they're 330 pounds, it's my experience the last 2 places men will ever invite God into their life is their sex life, their food, and their 3 places: sex, food, and spending. Those are the last 3 places anybody ever wants to be a Christian.
That's probably true.
Is that not interesting though? The dude is that people will labor.
There's one more.
And what I mean by that is that people will labor for things, like for the church, for example, but will still not, and they might do it a lot, but they still won't invite them in those areas. Is that not a weird dichotomy?
Like they'll spend their time. They'll spend.
Buddy,
their
I quit chewing tobacco like a year ago. I'm as guilty as the next. Like that was the last place where I'm like I'm not doing it. Like I was defiant.
Oh yeah. No, I think it's an interesting dichotomy though, is that people will be like, well, I don't want to. They'll spend their time and their labor doing something. I mean, even me, I'm guilty of the same things you just talked about. But like at my church, we've got 4 air conditioners, and I had to reinstall all 4 air conditioners and stuff like that. I just did all that of my own volition. But I mean, I'm still guilty of the same things you were just talking about. You know?
Okay.
And it's like
Patrick likes the weed.
I'm asking why. No, I don't like weed. I just think that's an interesting dichotomy, and so I was just trying to ask you about it. Just because
I think people are either good at labor or they're good at sacrifice. I'm pretty fortunate that in my life I've gotten proficient at both.
That's really, I like that. And I say I like that because there's actually a weird dichotomy between the Russian Orthodox Church and the Greek Orthodox Church in that we are strict in different ways. The Greeks are strict in what they abstain from, and the Russians are strict in what they do. So, because the Russians, even during fasting periods, we can drink beer, we can drink vodka because that's just liquid bread and liquid potatoes. The Greeks, no alcohol during those time periods. We can't have wine in Rokor, but
I just think for somebody to be like uncultivated or like unactualized, I love Christianity. I love men trying to get to a better place. But it's when they're obstinate or defiant in certain parts of it. Like I'm a sober guy. I've shared that several times on the panel. I don't consume alcohol or drugs at all. I abused it in my youth. It's not a good place for me to be. And when somebody is conducted, like when they're behaving in a way that's self-detrimental, like porn addiction, cheating on their spouse, recklessly spend, like you're not a Christian if you have a 480 credit score. Let me rephrase. You're not a devout. Like you're not you're not paying your debtors.
Right.
700 or above credit score.
True. Well, I mean,
665.
I think they can be. They just, like I said, like maybe they're not good in that area. I don't know.
Bullshit ass gatekeeping is that. Have you not? It's fucking.
Just to be clear, it depends on what you're doing. Like if you're.
Can I get a salt in there too, please? A salt packet or two, if you have.
He wants to be assaulted by a packet. Okay.
I want to be assaulted by a Pakistani boy.
Pause.
No, thank you.
Hold on, you got to show us what you got.
Oh, yeah, I got fries. I'll take one.
What are you putting the salt on? The fries?
All right.
Yes.
You gotta get some
real experience, man. Thank you, sir.
You gotta get some
salt. McDonald's using some fake ass salt now, some like sodium silicate stuff.
It's like sodium glutamate or something like that. And so there was a guy named Pico della Mirandola, fellas, and he wrote a book called The Orientation on the Dignity of Man. I'm a big believer in a real man should be well-rounded.
Not round, just well-rounded.
Well, look, I'm not saying you need to bench press 400 pounds and speak 4 languages and own 5 homes, but you should be like I do believe that a Christian man should be. Obviously, we're all going to have like different ratings across the spectrum in different areas of our life, but I do think a Christian man should be like a loving husband, a proficient athlete, like an accomplished reader. Anyone have any? And this is where I get into conflict with a lot of people because this conversation makes people uncomfortable. Like people in my church, like this is where some people have a hard time accepting my views.
I don't know why.
It seems like you're.
I agree to a certain extent.
You're kind of morally loading what people have to do to be considered a Christian in your eyes. I would say.
I agree. Like, I think if you don't have like a university reading level, I think you're not a Christian. You know what I mean?
Well, that's crazy confluence.
It's more of the concept
how is that? I thought we have to be well-rounded.
Well, you said a university reading level. If somebody dropped out in the 9th grade and they could read the Bible, they're okay.
Well, so you don't want to be well-rounded in that way. Okay.
Would they not be better if they were like better at everything?
Yeah. Shouldn't they be well-rounded in intellect?
Like,
I think it's more about
why are you conflating intellect with literacy
rather than a master in those areas?
Why are you conflating intellect with literacy?
Well, it's another way to be well-rounded, even if you want to call it literacy and you want to it's not intellectualism. That's fine, but
maybe I'm misinterpreting when you say a university reading level. Like
you can be literate without being university level.
Yeah, but I'm saying you should be university level. Otherwise, how can you even call yourself a Christian? That's what I'm saying.
Why ought?
What?
Is that in the teachings in the Bible?
Hold, it was just about
university level educated in physics.
Yeah,
you just need enough to read the Bible, right?
No, I think
I think you ought to be better.
As long as you believe in the miracles.
You have to at least own one house.
I do think a Christian man
strive to be the best.
I do think a Christian man should own a house. Does anyone disagree? A Christian man should own a home.
I don't think that has anything to do with it.
I don't disagree.
I said, do you think they should?
You're not a Christian if you think about it.
I mean, generally speaking, but I mean,
you're not
I think
a
there's
Christian.
exceptions. I mean, I think there's like monks don't own homes generally. You know, they live at the monastery.
If you don't have a 401k, how can you even call yourself a Christian? Do we at least agree with that?
Wasn't Jesus born in a stable?
So if I can,
a manger.
They're Buddhists.
If I can, I have I know some.
Jesus said to give away all your possessions.
Okay. I know some
I'm gonna
who...
slam my head into a fucking table if you keep talking, dude. I'm sorry, I can't take it anymore.
What did I say?
I don't blame you.
No, not you, Seth.
Oh, you said dude. I'm the dude. That's my name. So I just thought you were talking to me.
So
yeah, I say dude a lot.
My wife's aunt and uncle, they spent their entire lives being missionaries to other countries and stuff. And they didn't own a goddamn thing. They didn't own a car.
So no 401k is what I'm
no
hearing.
401k. But they helped more people than fucking anyone else I've ever heard of. So it's like
I'm going to go ahead right now and say Raising Cane's gets 6.5 stars out of 10. Nothing great. The Texas Toast sucks balls.
Like I said, it's overhyped. It's good, but it's not.
It's chicken nuggets for men. It's grown-up chicken nuggets. Like, wow, this was lackluster.
I like Raising Cane's with the sauce. It's only good with the sauce.
That makes everything good, right?
And I also like to. I also, you know, what else is good at Raising Cane's? Raising Cane's does have good Texas toast.
It's not. It's cold. So I went to Taco Bell. I had you guys on mute. So I go to Taco Bell, I order a Crunchwrap. They said, "Oh, our fryers are down." I'm like, "Oh, well, I'll have this with grilled chicken." They said, "We're not doing chicken." I'm like, "Did you just shut everything down an hour and a half before you close?" And they're like, "Well, yeah."
Basically, yes.
So I left out of spite because I'm a middle-aged white guy. And I'm like, I'm just not dealing with this.
You shouldn't. You deserve better.
Taco Bell is unironically.
Or you could have just placed a really large order and then drive away.
You actually could.
Is that illegal?
Recommend it. No.
No.
Is that illegal?
You had an emergency. You had a medical emergency, actually.
No. Raising Cane's was overpriced for what I got and not as good as I wanted when I went.
And the nuggets are like 80% breading. Like the chicken's like mid.
You should go to
Confluence. Confluence has to go to bed. Is anyone live? Anyone know? Anyone live?
Why do you have to go to bed?
Because I'm becoming an exceptional white, the dude. So I gotta wake
up.
What?
Did you get a job?
The dude's channel. Let's go
I
to
got
the
a
dude's
job
channel.
contract. A job contract.
He writes
Wait,
for
is
people.
Elderline going live? Elderline, are you going live?
Yep. Any panelist gets first dibs on raids. Okay, so if Elder is going live,
I would go live, but my community is so toxic. I don't want to introduce you guys to any of them.
Why is your community so toxic, bro?
Yeah, I already know Ryan. Okay.
I used to be a pedophile hunter on YouTube, and they're just a very toxic group of.
I thought you were gonna stop before you said hunter. I was like super worried.
Wow.
For a moment, I did too. Honestly, I was like, "Damn, that's
Does Ryan come here often?
No, he's been here a couple times, but we haven't seen him in a while.
Indian Jesus is asking for you to read him.
You talking about Coder? Talking about Radical Coder?
No.
Radical Coder has disappeared completely. Yeah, I haven't even seen videos of him in like
Good.
4 months.
He should have disappeared. He should have never been appeared in the first place.
Cal went to rehab, and since she got out, she's
Cal?
barely
multiple times.
She's not even really talking in her Discord at all.
Maybe she's going to meetings and finding herself. Good for her.
So she was in my chat
Yeah, she's
the
trying
other
to fix
day.
her
'Cause I was
life, it
trying to
seems
get her to
like.
come on with Grace and Ben Thorpe because they have history, but she was just chatting. She didn't come up, but she said she would come up, but then she didn't.
Is Pharmacat a liberal?
No. What?
No.
What?
No.
I just know she hates me in chat, so I don't really care. I just know she's not a fan.
She homesteads. Pharmacat homesteads.
Because you act kind of douchey, and you try to call her out on stuff that she actually does know about. That I can confirm that she actually
It's
knows
called hyperbole.
True.
I know she doesn't like it, and that's perfectly valid.
Your
not to
mom's
like that.
hyperbolic, just so you know.
Well,
Okay, Elder, are you going live or not? Because I give preference to people on the panel. You're not going
Influence.
live,
Indian
I'll-
Jesus asks you to raid him.
Yeah, if Elder's not going, then I'll raid the IJ. But otherwise, I always like to incentivize people to join. You know,
What? Do we have to go listen to Indian
That's
Jesus
fair.
do
Yeah,
a
that's fair.
monologue?
I didn't know if you heard.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he does. So even when he's on
Well, you
Conflict
could say
panel,
that,
he
yeah,
monologues.
Couldn't we all join Elderline's Discord and we all just
And I
talk
felt
shit
a little
while he
bad
plays
trying to
video games?
ask her, but
Let's
she
all go.
said
Let's
she
all go
would've
do a
come
voice.
on with
Let's go do
Grace,
a
so I was
voice
like,
chat
okay.
in Confluence's Discord.
True.
Yeah, we could do that. That
Well,
would
if
be better.
Elderline's going live, if Elderline wants to have an open panel, we can join him.
Who's Elderline? I don't even know who that is.
The guy
That's
you were
the-
just fighting
the
with,
southern,
like at the
the
beginning.
southern guy, bro. The
Oh.
obviously southern guy.
He's the guy that sounds grumpy all the time, but he's actually
I'm
really
southern
based.
too, but he just sounds like
I
it.
am grumpy all the time.
Why are you grumpy all the
He's an
time?
elder
Yeah,
lion.
see, told you. Yeah.
He's an elder lion.
Something
Because
wrong
I'm
with your
tired
medulla
most of the time 'cause I
oblongata?
work.
So
I work a lot, so I'm tired all the time. I'm constantly either reading, going to church, or working.
It's the melanated people at work. I know it is, but it's okay.
Elder,
buddy.
you got to go live. I'm gonna end stream. Confluence is a hard out.
You're holding
I'm
up his
wild
sleeve.
now.
He has
I'm
a
seeing
hard
if,
on right now.
Just I would
you hear him?
recommend just rating someone who's already live.
He has a hard on. You got to move.
People on panel get preferable
example.
treatment.
Here, my internet's all fucky, so you probably just are
Let's all go raid Maryland's Chatterbait.
Hey,
Fuck
Are
that.
we going on? Are we going on the Discord chat and Confluences?
Yeah, are we doing that?
Talk shit about Confluence.
depends
let's
if
do
Elder
that.
can get his stuff up. Or
I don't
Let's all call the manhole right now.
Going to Discord is better than going to IJ because we're never going to get to say anything on IJ. Just saying.
I'm going to the general Discord.
Is it me or does Indian Jesus kind of sound like a brown Ben Shapiro?
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Yeah, he does.
Night.
All right, let's all say
Confluence,
Confluence
tell
is
your
gay and
fans
then
thank
leave.
you for coming to see you tonight. Be gracious.
I'm
Yeah, be
waiting to
grateful.
do my sound off for Elder to
Wait,
go
you
live.
gotta-
I don't know if it's ever gonna happen.
I'm trying to get my internet to work, but it's not. Like,
Otherwise, we're going to
my
IJ.
internet
It's
goes
not.
really
It's a
shitty
policy.
sometimes.
Just go to IJ. Just
I
go
give
to IJ.
I give preference to people who are on the
Well,
panel. Okay.
Will you at least change your background
go
to your
ahead and turn
bed
it down.
thing you do, Conflict?
Yeah,
I'm not,
with
well, I'm
Maryland
not in.
underneath the
I only
pillow.
put that when I'm actually in my bed. I'm sitting on my chair right now, but I will go into my bed. I don't want to lie to my audience.
You lie about not. You got to have a bathroom scene too. So when you go to the bathroom,
Yeah, bathroom scene,
Oh, that
towel
would
holder
be-
in the
that-
back.
That would be funny, actually. I should do that.
Defluence with pee on the
I
wall.
should.
Shower
Yeah,
curtain,
shock
towel
plate.
holder, you know.
How the fuck
should
did
get-
Hey, wait, before you go off, how did Raising Cane's like rise to dominance being so mediocre? Like, I'm really confused. How did this place get to where it is?
overhyped.
I mean, have you eaten at
sauce.
McDonald's or fucking Wendy's? They made it as big as they are. So
I would
can't
say
be
both of
much
those
worse than
places
that.
have fallen off hard, pal.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I really liked Culver's.
I mean,
I
if
had
they
those
can
for the first
maintain,
time.
then
Well, Wendy's is closing
Culver's is
locations.
great.
So is Burger King. And McDonald's not opening.
In-N-Out is better.
Everybody's closing places.
I've never gotten something I didn't like from In-N-Out.
I'm
All
not
right,
sure if
let's
you're-
all go to the Discord. Let's all go.
Thank you, Testy. Thank you, Elderline. Thank you, Fuck It Button. Thank you guys for the super chats. Thank you, audience members, all of you people. Thank you, panelists. God bless all of you. Now I will see if Elderline.
Don't do a generic panelist. Thank us individually, you cunt.
Thank you, everyone except the dude.
I appreciate you, bro. I hope you have a blessed night, man. Sleep well.
So are we going to the
Okay, we're
Discord
going to
call?
lunch because Confluence has to go to bed. So
All right,
Elderline
I'll see
can't get
you
his
guys
stuff
in-
working, which is fine. Okay.
I'll see
God bless you
this
guys.
buddy.
Deuces.
Take care. Go to lunch. Go drop him a sub. Give him a like.
Stay
God bless
safe,
you guys.
stay